H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks and sometimes Chris Walker, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And let me tell y'all something. It's Monday. I got a new setup. They done put new monitors and stuff in my setup, man. I got stuff everywhere. I got to get used to it. Got double monitors and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm used to looking. I'm used to looking here, but it got me looking here and here. They got me messed up today, y'all. But I'm gonna get through it. I just got to get used to it. But what's up, everybody? How you doing? Let me get my starting five in the building. Let me get them. Hold on. Let me get them. Get them stretched all out. Starting five today. We got Chris Charles, Daryl Anderson, Brandy Nickerson, Otha Brown, and D. Holcomb is in the building. And our sixth person of the day, a man of the day. Let me see. I think it's Corey Willis. What's up, Corey? Brian Boatwright. Jimmy ain't on. He'll be on in a little bit, so you can tell him congratulations this weekend. The Prairie View Interscholastic League inducted Jimmy into their high school Hall of Fame this weekend. And just shout out to everybody. How was your weekend? How was everybody's weekend? Did anything happen? The summer's over. Summer basketball is over. Did you get parents? Did you get everything you wanted out of summer basketball this year? I'm just curious. Did you get everything you needed? Joe Lewis, did you get everything? Corey, what's up, Corey? Corey, no, well, you didn't have no summer basketball. Rick Brown, did you get everything? Brian Boatwright, right? Did you get everything? Did you have a kid or a nephew or cousin in summer basketball? Did you get everything that you wanted out of summer basketball? Shout out to the Houston Hoops for thank you, Jeremy. Shout out to them for being what made it to the Final Four of the Peach Jam, and shout out to those guys and great job. Let me tell y'all something. Great job by Maurice Taylor and Kevin. I mean, not Kevin Woods. I'm sorry, Stephen Woods, Hightowers High School coach. Shout out to him and Mo, man, and and thank you to Gary Carter for capturing the Houston Hoops. Like, I mean, maybe I don't know why. I'm always, I guess, because we follow each other. I'm always getting your feeds. I watch how you captured each player. And the other teams. I don't know if y'all don't follow the Chop Shop or me. I don't get your information. So and to other teams who were out there and did whatever they did in the summer. It's their last. Most people, it's their last summer. I got news yesterday that Wesley Yates left the Peace Jam going to Vegas. He gonna play with Strive for Greatness, LeBron's team, out in a tournament in Vegas. I guess they got one more tournament, another tournament in Vegas this weekend. I'm not familiar with the tournament. I just heard Wesley Yates flew out and played with that team. But shout out to the Houston Hoops, the players, the parents, the sacrifices that people had to make. Shout out to Hal Passner, the guy over the Houston Hoops. And let me see what else we got. He said he on the 19th hole. Kevin Freitman on the 19th hole in Cali watching us. Keep working out there, Doc. Joe Lewis said, yes, sir, kids grew on our team throughout the summer season. That's good. What team were you with, Joe Lewis? What team were you with? So I can talk. I want to hear about you. What team were your son and who are you the coach? Or give me some information about your team. What's up, Robert Risen? I'm just looking at different places, y'all. I got two monitors, but they got me. It's kind of weird how they got me hooked up here. Ivan Pettis Jr. said he had a great weekend with his son. He said yesterday was Sunday, SON day. I saw that, Ivan. Alex Sestero said, good summer, wrapped up the Gasso. Yesterday, my kid was definitely feeling a bit sad that it was over. Didn't realize emotions would set in, but these kids are now 10 months away from college and about to leave the house. Yes, sir, they are about to leave the house. You have talked about this before. Wow, parents need to start adjusting too. Luckily, we have two more younger boys to enjoy it. That's Alex Estero. I'm gonna put that up there because a lot of people probably need to see that. Yes, man. I never forget when I know my son's last game. I can remember it vividly. At Hal Passner's event in Vegas, his last summer basketball game, man. I never forget it. I'm trying to see why this stuff is fuzzy at the bottom. Let me get this stuff up, man. I don't like that stuff on me, man. What the hell is going on around here, man? Hold on, man. I can't get right. I'm trying to get. It'll move my lighting around me. I just can't. Oh, man. Hold up, y'all. I had to have my lighting right. I'm a stickler for lighting. Got to have it right. And it's not right now, but that's all right. But let me see what else I can say. Hey, Mindy, your Astros are off the chain, so you can't say it. They're doing great. They're off the chain. Proud of them. Hoops shook a lot of haters. See, there we go again. What you mean, King Sticks? We always, what you mean by the hoops shook all the haters and took care of it? Tell us what you mean, since you want to bring stuff like that up. Joe Lewis played the North Texas Ball, the fifth. Oh, you got a Junebug team. Oh, my God. Based out of Fresno, Plano. That's shout out to you, Joe Lewis, and them youngsters, man. I remember that grade, Joe Lewis. Oh, my goodness. You know what? Those were some fun times for me. Fun times for me. Joe Lewis, I remember the sixth grade team. I think he played with the Hoops, I think, with sixth grade team. I got to tell y'all some stories about that. I'll tell y'all stories about that later. Didn't stay with that team long. I had to get the hell away from that team. Maurice Jackson, what's up, baby? That's Kendall Jackson's dad is in the building. I mean, who is that? Let me go back up. Who is that? Let me go back up. I told y'all my stuff, my cursors all over the place. But Joe Lewis, man, those was fun times for me, man. Rick Brown said, I did have her. It was a tough season, but my guys got better. A few of them have a chance to play at the next level. I mean, and we're going to talk about that, Rick Brown, what's the name of your team? What's the name of the team you showed? Chris Walker lost the Astros bet against Jimmy. Oh, yeah, he lost. But, I mean, I'm just, y'all, it didn't wind down. It's over. Share the show, because I want to hear from y'all. Got to realize, y'all, it was a whole lot of stuff in the beginning about, there's a whole lot of expectations at the beginning of each season. And, It was a lot of talk about them and all the guys leaving for other teams. That's just every year, King Sticks, stuff happens to teams. But the Houston Hoops, this why what you saying is it. People wasn't hating on the freaking Houston Hoops. People just chose to go somewhere else. And and that's why I wanted to attack that, man, because y'all always talking about somebody hate. Man, what did that? People ain't hating on y'all's ass. What you got to hate? What the Houston Hoops got to hate on? Hey, why people want to hate? I mean, I just don't understand that. But what's up, Brad? Pro Skills Austin. Pro Skills got an Austin team, okay? Pro Skills got an Austin team. I didn't know. Kirk Dorsey said, "What's up, Patty? It was great. It was a great and okay, Kirk Dorsey, what team you with? Shout out to all of these teams, man. All of y'all, man, who sacrificing. But you put up there and said, I know a lot of talk about them this year and all the guys leaving. Guess what? Guys left other teams too. We talked about guys leaving other teams. Man, Chris Johnson was on 12 teams. He left a team every week. You got another guy left a team every week. So people leave teams. King Sticks, sometimes subtraction is addition. Sometimes, I don't think that people were hating. People had a choice. If I don't want to deal with them dudes over there at the Houston Hoops or at Pro Skills Austin National, guess what? If I don't want to deal with Rick Brown, I'm going to go take my kids somewhere else. See, what y'all don't understand, man, a wise man told me. As a matter of fact, he's a Hall of Famer now. But a wise man told me, he said, because I came to him because there was some people leaving our team. And I listened to me. And I know I ain't did nothing but take care of them, Kirk Dorsey. People left my team a long time ago to the franchise all-star. And all I did was take care of them. And guess what? They left anyway. So ain't nothing we can do when your kids leave. So King Sticks, I guess you want to perpetuate the mess. But I don't think guys were just leaving the Houston Hoops. Guys got a choice to do what the hell they want to do with their kids. If John Newsom don't want his kid to play on his team, y'all got to realize it's the parents that move these kids around. Houston Superstars, my son gained a lot of offers. Oh, yeah, Keelan. Okay, Keelan. Yeah, Kirk Dorsey, you had a good song. Yeah, you good. I saw you, Jimmy. I don't know what happened to you, but I'm gonna bring you in, Jimmy. I got new equipment over here, Jimmy. I got stuff everywhere, man. And I don't know how to hook it up, but I just King Sticks, Jimmy, come on there. I know that's Darwin. I'm gonna tell y'all who it is. He come on here talking about congratulations to the Hoops. They shook all the haters and took care of business. People can leave teams, y'all. I want y'all to understand. There's a lot of people left a whole lot of teams this year, Jimmy. Like I said, Jimmy, I know a guy I know he was on 3 teams this summer. So, I mean, it ain't about hate, y'all. Let's get that situation. Everybody said congratulations, Jimmy, man. But it's just you got like it's Twyla. Let's say Twyla got a son. I remember Jimmy, all I did was, I can tell him now, all I did was pay light bills and pay water bills and help everybody. And this a mama told Jimmy, if you catch me playing on that team again next year, I want you to put your foot in my behind. But she didn't say behind. Huh? What'd you say?
She didn't say behind.
Hey, all we did was help them. So, guess what? Jimmy, somebody pulled up a van to somebody's house and gave them a lot of sneakers. And Jimmy, we gave everybody sneakers. But I guess Nike gave them more sneakers than us. Kid left us. I mean, I think somebody called me and said, man, he was at somebody else's practice. It broke my heart, Twyla, because I love the kid. Because kid, you know what got me, Twyla? This what got me, Twyla. A wise man told me, this guy who, this Hall of Famer told me a long time ago, he said, Hatter, it's not what they eat for breakfast. It's what they last ate. They ate for dinner. Because guess what? The guy came to me, Mr. Hatter, these guys took, I almost mentioned the son's name, took my kid all the way to Florida and didn't play him and didn't do this and do. I say, let me tell you something. Don't worry about that mess. I got all my guys. I got him next year. I got it. Look, you're in the 9th grade. I said, I got it. So guess what? I had him the next year. Put him on a circuit with some bad dudes. He'd go up there, go crazy, and guess what? He was pulling that shoe truck up against his house, and he was gone like a turkey through his car. But I'm the one that believed in him. Hey, look, Dora, I'm the one that believed in him. So guess what? When Jimmy, the Hall of Famer, told me, he said, man, if you can get 1 week, let's know a year out of these goddamn ungrateful ass parents. Yeah, you said it, Jimmy. If you can get 1 week out of these ungrateful ass parents, Mr. Hatter, you're doing good. I promise y'all. I went home. I prayed about it. I got up off my knees and said, man, I did the best I can for these guys and put them in these positions. And if they want to leave, that's their prerogative. And it hurt because people talk about, like somebody was telling me about the hoops today. Robert, well, they shouldn't have waited to a week before they got ready to go. I said, oh, I tell you one thing. The Hoops would have did to your ass. If they had got a better player and he came on that team a week before that, your ass sitting on that bench. I'm just telling you, parents, I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I said, I experienced it. So summer basketball to some of y'all is over. Some of y'all is over, man. It's over. And guess what? Life is all right. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I was kind of glad it was over with. And mine ended on a bang. I was glad it was over with. But Kyle Cole is in the building. Kyle Cole said 1 week. I mean, Jimmy told me that. And I promise y'all, I was hot. Because I was saying, Jimmy, do you know what I did for these folks? Do you know what I did for these folks? Jimmy said, he just said, I'm going to just let you finish all that talking you're doing. But I'm still saying, if you get a week, a month, a year out of these folks, consider yourself lucky. I just wanted to share that with everybody, Jimmy. What's going on, man? Because there's a lot of stuff going on. You get emails. I'm getting tweets. I mean, life is good, y'all. But what's up, Jimmy?
Oh man, hey, this is the topic. The grassroots travel season is pretty much over.
Yeah.
For this 2022 calendar year, and we do it every year. And it's that time to continue the tradition, to pick your brains and get your thoughts. Did your investment yield the returns that you initially expected? Everybody makes some sort of investment into their son or the kids, but often there are different expectations for varying households. For some, it's just for recreation. It's just to get their ass out the house. It's to get them some cardio, have some fun. Then for others, it's to create and enhance their competitive nature. For some, it's to go and be able to overcome and face some adversity, meet new friends. Then you have others that are expecting their investment to yield college exposure, rankings, scholarships. And then there's others to increase their odds on making USA basketball or even McDonald's consideration. You know, it's different things that everybody's getting out of it, trying to seek out of this stuff. And what's lost in it, and we're going to go throughout the day, and we're going to take you guys through various, open your eyes to various degrees and various elements that factor into this travel basketball scene. And often you parents will find yourselves either so pissed off to the point where you just don't even want to talk about it. You find yourself embarrassed. You find yourself feeling like you've been had, conned. Then there's others that find themselves extremely damn happy right now.
Yeah, like Kirk Dorsey, Keelan Dorsey, daddy, happy. He happy.
He's happy now. Keon Dorsey, which I saw you said several. Picked up several offers.
Mm-hmm.
What colleges? Because there's varying discrepancies of what offers you have.
Okay.
I don't, me personally, because I've been there, done that with playing the interest game.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we know that this was a win for Keon Dorsey.
Absolutely.
I mean, for his son.
Mm-hmm.
Right, who goes to Eisenhower High School. We know it was a win for him.
Yeah.
Because win meaning that your interest level then versus now. Now, however, what we don't on the chop shop, and it's not against nobody, but we will vet if you name a offer, and it may to ensure, because of the fact that a lot of those college coaches are reachable. A lot of them, we can reach them just like that. And it's not, and what the only people that get pissed off about that are the people who may spread falseness or try to mislead the congregation or the boom boom room.
Right.
And we're not going to, that means that we allow you to perpetuate anything. That's not, no, we're not talking to you, Mr. Dorsey, anymore, talking to the room. Mm-hmm. To perpetuate bull cone, then guess what? Then that means we're bystanders of that.
Yeah,
we're enablers.
Yeah, we're complicit in it. If we allow it to go unvetted on this show. So all we just gonna vet it and make sure we just want to make sure it's accurate, because it can confuse the basketball community, and a lot of confusion has been going on in the basketball community, and we just trying to do our little part to help it though.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so now, once again, did your investment yield the returns that you thought?
Right.
If you notice at the beginning, back in March, Ada, spring icebreaker, a lot of the local area teams that participate, and you'll see those parents, they're sitting right in the same segregated area.
With each other.
With each other.
Okay.
Everybody's sitting together. Everybody's rah-rahing together. Ain't nobody saying pass the ball at the first weekend. Mm-hmm. Spring icebreaker. Ain't no parent hollering, pass the ball. To everybody else's son except your own.
Oh, Jimmy, what about when you said swing it? Swing it.
And thank you, Mr.
Put it back up there.
He says,
let me put it back up there for you when I find my cursor. My cursor's been hiding from me, Jimmy. So, there you go. My cursor been hiding from me. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there you go right there. Now, say UMBC, I would assume that's University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I would assume that's the SFA, North Texas, are the serious offers. Mm-hmm. And there's others that's blowing smoke. Okay. I applaud you, Mr. Dorsey, for especially the last half of that sentence. Parents, look at this now. I'm saying I give credit where it's due, because we talk so much and some people feel like, oh man, they're getting on you. We got to give, we'll start giving credit, because that way it empowers you guys and it encourages more of you guys to give your thoughts on this stuff. The others that are blowing smoke. Now, Mr. Dorsey, I'm gonna ask you to elaborate just a little bit. How can you tell when a school is blowing smoke?
That's a good one. That's a good one, Mr. Dorsey.
How can you tell when a school is blowing smoke? And how can you tell if the offer is serious?
Mm.
What I mean, I'm just, and
That's a good question, Jim.
it's not a trap question at
No,
all.
that's a good question.
We're trying to get, because different people can it's say in a relationship, and if I ask you, how do you know the other half is serious? To some people, they might say, well,
I bought her a ring.
he took me to the mall.
Yeah.
I met his family. I went to the cookout.
Yeah.
He took me on a trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Different people all had to say, bought me a ring.
Yeah.
I know some of my partners about 2 of the same ring. He got a deal. No, that's not a joke, but I mean,
no,
you guys
yeah, enough real talk, but keep going.
So how do you know? And as Mr. Darcy gets his thoughts together, we'll proceed.
That's a good one, Mr. That's a good one,
We don't want you to rush through it. I want you to be really, because we're trying to help each other, because you're in a very great position right now. And that is, you're in a position to where it appears that your son can possibly extend his basketball talents in exchange for an education for free. Absolutely. At the next level.
Absolutely.
And this is probably what you dreamed and hoped for. And as we go through it, I'm just going to tell everybody, don't play around with this stuff. Don't play around with it. If the opportunity is there, don't let nobody hinder your process when your options are limited. Because as you proceed into the fall, starting Labor Day weekend, maybe even but Labor Day is normally the measuring stick. Football teams, you can look at the schedules right now. Every football team that's having a home game, if you get there early, they're going to prance the recruits. They will have a collection of basketball recruits on campus for what they call an official visit. That's the visit that they pay for everything. Even if you drive, they will compensate you for mileage. You follow me? Mm-hmm. They will compensate you for mileage. They will give you a check for your mileage. So some people are, even if you drive on an official visit, they will pay for your hotel room. One hotel room for the kid, one hotel room for the parents. If the parents are split up or legally divorced, they will get a separate room for each one of those on the official visit.
Why they got to be legal? It ain't legal yet. I just don't want to sleep in the room with her.
Well, they don't want no swinging going on. You got your piece with you and she got her piece with you out. They don't want y'all being there swinging.
Oh my goodness. All right, I got you. But that's unique. Mr. Dorsey said he's a former D1 player himself, and he always asks, is this a committable offer? So he always asks that question. Is this, and I don't know if parents probably don't even ask that question, Jimmy.
They should.
And they should. Okay.
And you know what you also should do? Mm-hmm. Write down, Mr. Dorsey, the name of the person, of the coach on the staff that you talked to and you told that to. Mm-hmm. See, what I'm striving to do is somehow, some way, and I'm going to, I'm just saying, different thoughts come in. I'm big on the word accountability. In college coaches, there are a select few out there that lives for telling lies. And if you lying to our parents and our community, you messing up the market, so to speak. And I'm going in a space right now, whereas I'm growing into this, comfortable in this space, whereas I'm going to I'm hoping if the parents let me know those coaches, then we're going to put their ass on the hot seat. And we're going to ask them why. Why you playing around with our people? Because if a person is leading you on or misleading you purposely, knowingly, knowing you are uninformed to handle the recruiting process, many of you, not talking to Ms. Dawson, we're not talking to you, talking to the congregation right now.
Right.
But if most of them know that, so they don't have to lie to you. But if they are, starting very soon, I'm going to hold their ass to the fire. I don't need their subscription no process no more. See, I'm in a good space now. That's why I'm doing all these damn events. I don't need you to subscribe to me. Get them young bucks that money. Because that way now I can speak with no monkey on my back, with no weight on my shoulders, free and clear, and can sleep good at night if you're messing over in line our kids. But I need
wait. So you say you used to allow them to?
No, I would be an enabler in some cases because I always believe, remember I said it before, Heather, a lot of people love to be lied to.
Yeah.
And so that was my perch I would come from. You know, but then some people don't mean you deserve. Everybody don't deserve the blatant conning that's going on. If you help me, you give me the name, I'm not going to necessarily put you out there on blast. No, I can protect you, the parent. And many of them have said how to keep my name. They send us emails, keep me anonymous. We keep you anonymous.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we can put that coach ass on blast. You just got to give us and empower us. I will call him. I will have a talk with him. I will ask him, why are you lying to my people? And I will give him a chance to make good on it. And if he don't make good on it, then I'm going to put his ass in the middle of the street. And then I'm going to let his boss man know. Then I'm going to let the athletic director of the school know. I'm going to put it all in writing. I'm going to put the fire up on his ass. Know what happens then? It will yield a better, more integrity-filled recruiting process for many of our people and our kids and our parents. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we got some good comments. Look at Tyrone. Look at Tyrone, Jim.
But a lot of kids be on the just in case we don't get who we want list.
Yeah.
If they get the kid they want, then just in case kid gets the short answer. Yeah. But then that's the thing.
Yeah, that happens. I'm telling y'all.
How do you know you on that short list? See, that's where the thing is. I'm raising up the antennas. If you're the recruit and you're the parent, how do you know what option you are? How do you know, Hannah?
You don't know.
You don't know.
But you know what, Jimmy? You know how that. See, Jimmy, you know what? And I just use the stuff that I learned. I'll never forget, and I tell this story because we got new people. I had in my son's recruiting, I just told everybody else, man, look here, man. I kind of know where I want him to go. I really don't want you, the Florida Atlantic and all of these people and what's that Northeastern. We really don't even. I said, man, y'all don't even, because he ain't going there, right? I said, I know a couple of teams I want him to go to. So guess what? Cornell was kind of playing around. They stopped calling him, Jimmy.
They stopped?
They had slowed down, stopped calling Robert, right? Huh. So guess what? Columbia, Colin Harmon started calling his ass every day. So guess what? I didn't call Cornell and warn him. They didn't call my son. I didn't call and warn him. So Columbia, I wanted to go to Columbia anyway because Barack Obama went there, right? So that's what I was thinking. So guess what happened? Him and his mom went on an official. I didn't go. I didn't want to go. They went on an official to New York to Columbia, Jimmy, right? Guess who Columbia played that night? Cornell. So guess what happened, mamas and daddies? The assistant coach and the coach saw Robert sitting behind the bench, saw him walking and sitting over there behind Columbia bench. I didn't know coaches could do this, Jimmy. This when I found out. Jimmy, the man called me and they was in the layup line. The game was about to start. He said, Mr. Hatter, don't make no decisions. Don't make no decisions, man. Don't make whatever you want. I got you. Don't make no decisions, man. And all I told him, I said, player, do you see me up there? He said, no, then ain't no decisions gonna be made. But y'all ain't been calling this boy. Him and her took that damn trip. The next day, oh my God. Oh no. They flew them up. They told the mama and Robert, hey, y'all come up here. They wanted to get, I didn't have to come, Jimmy, because I knew where I wanted him to come. But let me tell you something, y'all. I didn't play no game, Jimmy, but guess what? You stopped, because Jimmy, I know what they was doing. They were waiting on to look, see what the kid that was going to go to USC or come to him. And the kid showed, listen, y'all, the kid, I think it's Jordan McLaughlin, something like that. The guy played with Minnesota Timberwolves. The little dude, he losing his hair already. So they was trying to figure out whether they was going to get him or not. Was he going to go to USC or he was going to come there? And the boy chose USC. So, but those, and I wasn't mad at the coaches. I just said, Brian, man, you ain't called this dude, man. You got to call him. So that's how parents, that's how, you ain't got to get nasty with them. Shoot, you just make sure your son good enough that somebody else want him. Then I'll put this on the screen for you. That's why I keep telling y'all. You wanted to talk about this, Jimmy?
What do parents and a child do when they spend all this money and time over 10 years in AAU basketball? Every summer, listen to the AAU coach about he or she got connects, and I would get them to college for sure. And when it's all said and done, the child gets no college offers nowhere. What to do then? That happens, but that's all part of the investment, Odyssey. Parents are investing. Everybody's not going to get the same return on the investment. And that's just the reality of this stuff. So my thing is, but if you're being promised or led to believe that, you know what, come play for me, I got these hookups, I'm going to get your son a scholarship. Write that down. Make that coach be accountable for what he's telling you. Remind his ass what he said to you yesterday, last week, last month, last year. But you guys are not doing that. The only people that black folk hold accountable, you know what that is? The only place, it seems like in society as consumers, as a consumer, the only place that it seems like we hold others accountable is if in the food industry, restaurants.
Oh, okay.
That's the only people we hold accountable.
Okay.
We'll
So
go.
everybody else, they just let
everybody
go.
else get a pass. It's like, man, you know what? I ain't gonna even deal with it. You know what? Forget it. But if it's a restaurant and they mess over your food, you're gonna go on social media. You're gonna go on Yelp. You're gonna go on everything else and let everybody know. You're gonna tell everybody, man, don't eat here. Don't eat there.
Jimmy, I got a question for the parents out there. Have any coach ever told y'all that this guy gonna actually get? I want to read that again. I want to make sure that's right. And Jimmy, I find it hard to believe because coaches, first of all, summer coaches shouldn't tell y'all this. All right. What he said, you listen to the AAU coach about he got connects and he would get them in college. The coach, listen, parents, the coach can't get you in college. Your talent gets you in college. I'm going to repeat that again. Your coach, your summer coach can't get you. Because I keep telling these dudes, man, I got this dude. That dude was good enough to go to college anyway, Jimmy. Shit, he was on your list. How you get him in college? So when you hear that, if he ain't, I put it like that. His coach can't get you as a parent, your old ass in college because you ain't got no talent. So the coach can't actually get nobody in college, parents. So let's get that. You done heard that on the Chop Shop. I know people don't want y'all to watch the Chop Shop. They don't want y'all to watch what they call it, Jimmy, what they do call it, the gossip show. But let me tell y'all, this is a truth show. We're telling you the truth. And some of these people don't want y'all to hear the truth. Can't nobody get you there. but yourself. Chris Walker said this the other day. Cause I'm around here advocating for the parents, man. These guys lying to the parents. He said, Rob, he said, you do what you tell these parents. Watch what's come across your screen. Stop complaining and compete. That's what you tell your son. Stop complaining and compete. Don't sit up here and think college AAU coach. Guess what? He gonna work to get your son's name out there. He's going to do the best he can to get you, but he can't get your son, as Jimmy can't get nobody on no damn team. You know, I can make a call, but I might have to pay that damn tuition for you. I can get your Memphis roster, but get what? Get what they gonna tell me? Hey, Rob, you got to pay if your ass can't play. Listen to me. If you can't play, I'm gonna be on the hook for your tuition. So I'm not going to tell you that because I'm not going to pay it. You follow me? So I ain't going to say that. So these AAU coaches, y'all listen to them carefully, Greg Morris. Can't nobody get nobody, Twyla, on no college team. Your kid got to have talent. I mean, college coaches called Jimmy. College coaches called me. You know how people talk about Houston is down? It's college coaches calling me, asking me. But these guys who I got relationships with are questions about some of these kids. I'm sitting there saying, wow. And all I can tell them is what I know. And guess what, y'all parents? I'm telling y'all parents, I'm going to tell them the truth. Because they ain't going to be coming at me talking about, Robert, you don't know. Robert, that dude terrible. No, I'm telling them the truth now. But Jimmy, Coach, it behooves me to tell the truth. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to hit that because Jimmy, I just didn't, when Odyssey put that up there, I just can't believe it's guys saying this to parents. I'm going to get your son in college.
Yeah.
No, your son going to have to get himself in college. But keep going, Jimmy.
I mean, and y'all keep the comments coming.
Yeah, y'all
because
doing good.
Once again, throughout today, the grassroots travel season has completed for the most part. And now we pose the question, parents, did you receive the return on the investment that you initially expected? Period. Some of you gave all in. Some of you gave 50%. Some of you gave little to nothing. Did you receive what you really expected back in March, going into this grassroots season? You know, and some of you went to certain events and you were led to believe that abundance of college coaches would be at your court every game. Did that happen? And the truth be told, guys, coaches will do a favor and come and briefly intend and go out and support a person's event during a live period. They will. But they will come, do a favor, buy a coach's packet, maybe hit the hospitality room, and they got to go on where they need to be at, where they're obligated to be at. So that means if they came to the event, they showed up, it could have been 50 of them. If they came at 12 noon when the hospitality room served the food, your son played at 7 p.m. that evening, them coaches gone. Don't do you any good. All of that is part of coaches gonna go to see players. And the thing is, what I'm going to do my best to hammer over the next 6 months, there's enough talent in Greater Houston, in the ASAC area, to whereas if you all played under the same roof, it's been proven before. This has been proven that there will be enough coaches that will make a comfortable environment, recruiting environment, in an intimate setting for all of y'all. That's what the GMI used to be. How the GMI didn't have teams from all over the country there. It had the local guys.
Yeah.
They stayed home.
Houston got some dudes, man.
And that's the thing. As long as those young people are playing and those coaches know those young people are, so it means it's going to make up and supplement it. I'm telling you. And what happens is many of you guys make the decisions because they don't believe in what you really promoting on social media and telling the world. You telling the world we got dudes, but if you got dudes, then your dudes and you got the connects for those college coaches.
They
That
gonna
means we
come
say like
here.
they will come. They will come to support you.
You.
If Bobby Benjamin, you just
Mhm.
put one on there, put his
Yeah.
message back up there.
Okay.
And so Bobby Benjamin,
You know that cursor get lost on me.
yeah. He said
Uh-huh.
the hoops and rap are good at helping with recruitment. Hit me up if you're looking for an opportunity next season. Promote your
He
program.
said an opportunity. He didn't say he said an opportunity. That's all. Now, when a coach say that to me, Jimmy, I'm all right with that one. I can help you with your, because a coach can't get you in school. I promise you. Man, if y'all, man, hey, one of these days, boy, I'm gonna let y'all listen to one of these conversations. I'm gonna say, Coach, can I tape this? Coach, can I tape this? Jimmy, we got a lot of stuff. You got another. I'm gonna let you read this one, Jimmy. But
Yeah.
they got comments everywhere. Here you go. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you. Let me get Bobby out. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Tony Broadway, a lot of guys do tell kids and parents that they have connections and they can get them in school, but the parents don't sit down and think about it that their kid really have to audition for a school to like them, and that's how the shit works. And we all we can do is put them on the stage to perform. The kids have to perform. And
Jimmy,
that's
can I
when the
do this?
pressure.
Thank you,
That's,
Tony
that's
Broadway.
the key. Great post. But the thing is, that's where the pressure at. That one game when he has to perform. And those coaches, two or three or a few coaches on the baseline, then that parents start. Remember, at first in March, they wasn't saying pass the ball. Now the pressure is in. Pass the ball to
Jimmy,
everybody else's son except or daughter except yours.
Jimmy, what? Y'all help me with this one. You go through the whole season. You get this top guy on your team. Then you go to the, let's say, the EYBL. Let's say you go to EYBL. And then you go to the Peace Jam. No. All the EYBL, everything is good. But when the Peace Jam happens, and all them coaches around there, you change up because this guy got a whole lot of offers already. He ain't from your city. He on a team from another city. I'm finna give y'all some. He just on. He ain't the team. He on. So they start playing all your guys from the city the team is derived from, and they star and the best players kind of sit him down, and you willing to lose and sit him down and lose, but so you can show your guys from your area and try to get them. Look, I'm just telling you, parents, this kind of stuff happens, parents. It happened this weekend, parents. You know, I'm just letting you know, man. It's Jimmy. You said something key. All of this work. How many live periods, Jimmy?
It's
These
about
coaches,
it's about four. It's at least 4 live periods,
these coaches have saw you 4 times, and I
and
know
5 if you count the high school.
5 times. And I mean, let me tell y'all something, man. And I know, listen, I know some of the people are mad, Jimmy, because you know I got the long note that day. You wasn't here today. I got the long note. I got it. You know, I keep it. You know, when the guy said, and I'm gonna use him again. He said, well, my son was in the top 40. He was first team all district. Doug Jones and Jimmy and Jeffrey Day and Marcus Law, all of them have seen him. And he's in the top 40 and he still didn't get a scholar D1 scholarship. Everybody ain't gonna get no D1 scholarship, Jimmy. Jimmy, I think we We got to ungloss that one. Coach T came on here one time and said, look here, y'all. Sometimes that D1 bus has passed. You're sitting at the bus stop. That bus is packed. No, that bus is full. Can't nobody else get on that bus. It ain't but a certain number of cars. So let's go and look at the other ones, the other schools. And some of y'all don't even want to get old schools. Y'all, if you can play college basketball, man, you are 7% of the rest of, you're the top 7%. Everybody don't play college basketball, man. D1, D2, D3, D4, everybody ain't good enough.
Everybody ain't good enough.
And I just don't be turning these things. That's why I like some of these guys, Jimmy. Somebody been watching this Chop, Jimmy. Because some of these guys they've been getting these offers and they've been committing. I've been seeing some guys get some offers, I'm committing. Get some offers, I'm committing. But I see you got some stuff up here you want. Boy, you got
man. We had one little young kid, Gabriel Alvarez.
Uh-huh.
He's from the Heights High School.
Okay.
The Heights High School, Gabe Alvarez. He didn't blow it up. He ain't ranking no top 10. He ain't ranking no top 20. But he went out there and played. A coach saw him. He picked up an offer. And guess from I think it's South Dakota State or something like that. And guess what happened? He committed. Sight unseen. To hell with that. I can change my mind anytime. That's all you have to do.
Yes.
Because now that coach in that school is on the hook. Now, don't get it twisted. Mm-hmm. They reserve and retain the right to change their mind.
Mine too. Both of us.
But if they do, here's what they risk. They risk a portion, first of all, that high school coach, that grassroots coach of that kid, and anybody else who's an ally can rally together and pretty much form a force field to prevent that particular coach and or that school, as long as that coach is there, who lied to the kid or who deceived him, to not recruit, to block them from recruiting your area ever again until they make good on what they did. That's how it used to be. That's how the game, it held true. And that was a time it did. But so many people is riding dirty in this grassroots basketball scene. So many folk compromised.
He got me riding dirty. You see what Doug said? Them coaches
gonna follow
players, man.
It's just that simple. So if all of you saying you got players, I'm telling you, if you're playing in a facility, let's say one of them 2-court facilities somewhere, let's say Thunder, they got 2 courts. And if it's 6 teams got together that each one of them had a dude, and each one of them dudes got 3 offers, I guarantee you during the course of a weekend, all 18 of those coaches that offer no kid would change their schedules and gonna dip in there and watch him one time.
Yeah, they're gonna watch.
I guarantee you that'll happen.
Jimmy.
Y'all don't understand how simple this is, but you don't have, so that means a lot of the stuff, what you're saying, what you're spewing. Oh, and by the way, you get to sleep in your own beds. I'm not talking about coming to my event. This is bigger than me. Yeah. Way bigger than him, and bigger and beyond RCS Sports. I'm telling you the power that you have.
But you got to have a dude now. The player got to be good now.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, but that's the whole thing. But you're promoting him as this guy. So if he is the guy that you say that you're promoting, and if he does have committable offers, Adam, if he has committable offers, if those schools are in on this kid like they want, that's the truest form to tell.
Jim, can I take, Jim, I want to take a quick break. I got to play this because I don't understand this. Jimmy, could you clarify this for me? Because I don't speak this language. But clarify this for me.
I'm the godfather. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget it. We got dudes up in here. Dudes. Hey. Put this on blast. Hey, Mo Candy Elite, I'm coming for your ass too.
Mocan Elite. Wait a minute. Mocan, Jimmy, y'all got to help me, man. I wanted to put some light to it, y'all, because I thought that was funny. Jimmy, I saw Mocan Elite yesterday. Jimmy, oh, when them Bobo boys, them bows get hold to you, oh, you might think you want Mocan Elite. Jimmy, they had a little dude shot it from the parking lot. I said, what the hell is going on? And Jimmy, it's easy to say what you want when you over there. It's easy to say. But Jimmy, hey, somebody help me with that. He the Godfather? Yeah, he probably is the Godfather. We can give him the Godfather.
That's a term that was bestowed upon John Urey.
Yes.
For his contributions to the basketball community, primarily in a certain area, a span of maybe 5-6 years. Remember, John Urey moved away and moved to Wisconsin. I
remember that.
Yeah. And then came back. But that was from his area, from an era because of the revolution coming in the turn of the millennium.
Okay.
And TJ Ford. First thing when you say about John Urey and grassroots basketball.
Right.
20, 30 years from now, you know what first thing gonna come into mind? It's not gonna be John Urey, the school teacher.
Right.
It's not gonna be John Urey who has his master's degree or he's getting his doctorate degree or was an assistant principal at one of the schools. Shouldn't that be part of on the top of the list?
The legacy, yes.
But it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be John Urey the father. It's not gonna be John Urey the husband. It's gonna be John Urey he was a superstar with TJ Ford, Daniel Ewing, all them guys. That's one blip on the radar.
But Jimmy, but he can't help. But guess what? You recognize his accomplishments. So if other people don't look further and know it's more to him than that. So I'm smart enough to know. You say he might be known by that, but I know him. I mean, if you look for, that's why I ask people, look further into a guy's resume, cause they just might think that's all he's done. No, the man he done some other things, but his bravado, put it like that, just overshadows all his other accomplishments. He's more than, and I'm going to say this, he's more than just a summer coach. He's more than just a summer coach. But he's defined by you saying, it's not a blip. It wasn't a blip. Shit, he did it. He had 2 McDonald's All-Americans on his damn team.
No. But I'm just saying, I was saying that of all of his life, it's not he's going to be remembered for that moment.
Okay, but it's all right.
And it should be greater.
I mean, and like I'm saying, Jimmy, and I'm gonna share it with everybody else tomorrow. I mean, I'm finding some people in history that did so many great things, and we don't have and I'm reading it now, but didn't nobody tell me how great this man really was. I told you about Adam Clayton Powell. Now, Robert Hatter now. No, he's one of the most influential men in the 20th century. But guess what? All people gonna talk about is what? Well, they put him out of Congress. But they ain't gonna never go back and say, why did they put him out of? Why did they suspend? No, they ain't put him out of Congress. They'll say, guess what? They took him off of his chairman duties. So, I won't go that far with him. He just. I mean, he's a remarkable guy, man. I think he's a remarkable man. And he just, that's why I played it. I just don't understand him talking about Mocan Elite. I saw that team. If your team can beat that team, oh, my God. I know wherever you went this weekend, he there? Wherever he went this weekend, I know he won the tournament. I know he just.
Hold on, man. That's what I'm saying. See, that's out of. Let's. John Urey, your team went to Dallas a couple of months ago and got their ass whooped by some 16 and under teams. We're not gonna act like that didn't happen. Got whooped.
I tried to save you, John.
Went 1-3. See, I keep it all up here like a big fat elephant.
I tried to save you, John. Come on, Jim.
As a matter of fact, you know, because your baseball coach in college was the same baseball coach I had in college, and that was one of his famous cliches. I'm like a big fat elephant. I don't forget shit. Remember, that's what Coach Hunter used to say all the time at Texas Southern University. So let's not act like that did not happen. And guess what? No matter what you do the rest of the summer, here's the thing. You make a conscious decision. You just say in one breath, the Icebreaker is the only tournament in Houston that you play in. Well, I mean, you make a conscious decision to take your resources. That's the key word in this stuff. Your resources out of town. If that be the case, then expect for out of town to show and shower the love and the exposure and everything that you seek. Don't expect. If you get it back home, great. But why the hell should you expect when you sit there and you go out of town and try to make out of town believe it ain't nothing, ain't nobody gonna be there, ain't no coaches gonna be there. You lied on that shit. We had 15 coaches at the GMI. But you wanted people to believe wasn't nobody there to justify why your ass made a decision to go out of town the other week and get your head beat in again. Now you won this weekend. Great.
Oh, he won this weekend?
Congratulations to the kids.
Yeah.
But you, sir, you got to be better before you expect others to be better towards you. That applies to all of us in life. This coming from a Hall of Famer right now. They could acknowledge your ass for the Hall of Fame. If you done that, that's my point when I said that. They could acknowledge you. They know you.
Can we take a break?
Got alphabets now. I can talk that talk now.
Hey man, but shot a 29 and 99, 29 and 9 record. It's good, but I just didn't understand it, John. John Uri, maybe you can explain it to me. You hear? No, hey, what you talking about, Sean? I ain't said nothing. Sean talking about, all right, Hatter. What did I do? John Uri, what you mean by this, man?
I'm the godfather. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget it. We got dudes up in here. Dudes. Hey. Put this on blast. Hey, Mocan Elite, I'm coming for your ass too.
What was you talking about, John? John, help me, baby. That's why I played it, John. I didn't know all of this other stuff was going. I didn't know about your record. But let me tell you, John. John, help me, man. Help me. What the hell was you thinking about, baby? Mocan Elite? Did anybody see that team this weekend? Jimmy, I said, oh, man, Jimmy, if this other one don't dunk it in, the other one's going to dunk it in. If he don't dunk it in, and then they got up the little curly head dude shooting the ball from half court. I'm sitting there saying, whoa, Houston Hoops, great job, man. Y'all just ran up against some, a machine. You could play, Jimmy, that zone. Jimmy, what happened to the zone? Jimmy, them big dude was jumping over the back of that zone.
Yeah, them dudes, they still shot it bad. I think the game against the Houston Hoops, Mocan Elite might have missed 21 three-pointers and maybe like 11 free throws, something like that. I remember reading the box score. If you think about it, on a big stage game, mm-hmm. If I was to tell you you're gonna miss 21 three-pointers mm-hmm. and miss like 11 free throws mm-hmm. and still win. That means, tell me what the other team did.
Oh, I didn't know they missed that many. Yeah.
I'm not having it in front of me. I can pull it up, but I remember looking at it, and it was something similar to that.
But thank you, John. You added some value to me today because I just didn't understand. I needed a laugh today because we was talking about a serious subject about these kids, Jimmy. Jimmy, you got anything else? What else we got? We'll
What
pivot.
else we got in the post? We had a couple of comments.
I just saw a couple of things, man. Let me. You know how to look.
I'm saying in the box, I think Herb Baker had something he asked.
Oh, Herb said something, but it wouldn't. I couldn't pop it up. It wasn't. Oh Lord, Chris Walker done popped in, y'all. Y'all in trouble now.
Here's the question that Herb asked. He said, "I'm trying to figure out how kids receive multiple high major offers during the dead periods, but they're not hearing from any D1 programs since the college coaches are able to evaluate them in person." Well, in many cases of such, that likely means that offer that you were led to believe a kid had probably was not an offer. So, and I'll toss that question for more elaborations to Chris Walker and to ask him in his days of being a college coach, how do you determine what kids you're going to see? And take us back, because somebody mentioned something early in the show, Chris, and that was about the white eraser board, the list. Tell us about how those lists, are formed in the coaches' offices, and who determines who goes to see whom as you approach the live period.
I mean, obviously, it's based on need. What do you need at that particular time? What position do you need? I think geographics play a large part in it. Do you have the budget to travel? If we're talking about different levels, can you travel all over the country and see certain kids, whoever you take a scouting service from a Jimmy Hicks or whatever, taking their word, them validating certain kids and saying, okay, I'm gonna make these kids a priority. And usually every coach, let's say there's a head coach and there's 3 assistant coaches that recruit. All 3 of those guys usually don't recruit the same players. So they all have their own list of guys and they don't break it up by position. So let's say Hatter recruits the Northeast, Jimmy recruits the South, I recruit the West Coast, or I recruit JUCO. And then we have our list of guys. And then depending on who the coach is, how much latitude he gives you the right to offer a kid, even if he has not seen them yet. Well, he said, well, Hatter, you know what I like. You know what kind of player it takes to be in this program. If you think he's good enough, offer him. Now, here's where it gets tricky. When they all come to the table, you only got 2 scholarships, but you got 20 recruits. And then you got the assistant coaches who want their guy to be the guy. Let's say it's 3 recruits. And they want their guy to be the guy out of the guys that are the head coach recruiting. So the other issue is the head coach needs to see them most time before he offers them. So he's not going to probably see 20 guys. So how do you prioritize each kid? You know what I'm saying? It gets to be an issue. So sometimes what ends up happening is these assistant coaches end up hyping kids up more than they should. You know what I'm saying? Because they want their guy to be the guy to validate them recruiting because they're trying to be a head coach. They're trying to get recognized as a top assistant, blah, 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 blah. So you get that competition in that boardroom about this guy's better than that guy. And the head coach may never have seen any one of them play. So whoever the assistant coach that has the most stroke usually is the guy that's going to win. Even if the kid ain't as good as the kid that somebody else is recruiting. So what usually happens is if Hatter's the head assistant, Hatter make sure he gets the top guys. He'll make sure, and then on down, and then what will end up happening is usually what happens is, as Jimmy says, the last thing I'll say is, let's say there's you need 3 positions. You need a forward, you need a guard, and you need a PG. You're going to recruit 5 to 10 guys per position. 5 to 10.
Wow.
You could offer, depending, all 5 to 10. You could, depending on where you are. If you Clemson, you offering a lot more guys than Duke. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
If you Mississippi State, you offering a lot more guys than Kentucky. That's just the reality of it. And even at Mississippi State, if you're the 10th guy that's offered, if you say the 10th guy, this is what people don't realize. If the 10th guy says he's going to commit before 1 through 9 say they don't commit, he got a great chance to get in the scholarship. But that never happens. Because that 10th guy is saying, well, if I get Mississippi State, I can get Kentucky. Waiting, and guess what happens? The number 1 make his decision, number 2 make his decision, make it number 3, number 4, and the next thing you know, that 10th guy end up at Georgia Southern. Happens every single time.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with Georgia Southern.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is when they get that offer, a lot of them don't realize it's really not real. If you want to find out if the offer is real, you need to be ready to pop and make a decision, right,
Right.
Jimmy?
Right.
I'm just telling you that it doesn't happen
I like
because
that.
they
Be
all
willing to
want more,
pop. Be
huh?
They
ready
You
to
got to
all
be
want
ready to
more.
pop.
But kids, Chris, is it the kids that want more, or the person who's influencing them may want more? And
I think it's
elaborate on
both.
that, because I think it's a gray area.
I mean, dude, so I don't want to blame the third party guy or the summer guy, but people got to realize a high school basketball coach, right? The large majority of them, they get praise from going to state. They get praise for winning district. They don't get praise for putting guys in college. That's not what they get praised for. The summer guy, what does he get praised for? Hey man, I got relationships with college coaches. Hey man, I put this many dudes off my program, went to college. It's a different deal. You understand? You got to understand that. So when you start looking at it that way, college guys, they are very influential. I mean, some guys are very influential, and you damn right, they're the ones that are driving it a lot of times and influencing the parents a lot of ways. And a lot of the college coaches are working primarily through the AAU coach. So the AAU coach has a lot of influence. So he might say, "Damn, we get Mississippi State. Hey man, this is what we're gonna do." If we get Mississippi State, guess what? We might be able to get Georgia, Nebraska, blah, blah. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. That ain't good enough. If you good enough to get this, you might be able to mess around and get Arizona. Look what happened to Joey so-and-so 2 years ago. The exception, not the rule. They waited out, and then this is what happens invariably every single time. That one time he's supposed to show up, he don't play good.
Oh.
And they scatter like roaches when the lights come on. I've seen it happen a million times. I'm not even gonna bring up certain names I've been following, and they say, "Oh, big game coming up. This dude been playing well. Big game coming up against so and so." Right? That's the chatter leading up. Then there's no chatter after. Why not? No chatter after. The
That's
chatter
messed
is not
up,
good.
man. Y'all do them kids like that.
I don't do them like nothing. They're the ones that build themselves up like that. They do that. Them parents, AAU coaches and kids do that. And then, as I say, when they don't play well, they want to give you forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They want forgiveness.
Boy. But you know what? That does prepare them if they planning on going to the next level. Because that's how it's going to be if they plan on going to college, mamas. I'm just talking stuff, but you got to show up all the time.
Listen, you got to be in that room. It's so funny when people talk about scholarships often. When you're in that room and you got 15 names on the board,
Right.
and you got to go make recruiting calls, and your number one job is to be like, man, I got to hold this dude off because they don't even really want him. Oh my God, I didn't offer this dude. And the head coach said, I don't really like him. Just hold him off for a few weeks until we make a decision on these other 5 dudes. Tell him whatever you got to tell him. Tell him I'm busy. Tell him we doing this. And the kid think he got a scholarship offer and he don't. And you just hold him off until the other dude pop and be like, man, I'm sorry, man. The other dude made a decision. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it did.
So at the Division I level, is this a commonplace, or this some isolated, or what you just described? Because this is really powerful, Chris. What you just described.
Dude, in everything there's a pecking order, right? If you go to a sneaker store, kids say, I want Nike, I want the LeBron. I mean, I want the J's first. They don't have the J's. I'll take the LeBrons. They have LeBrons. I want the Kobe. They had a pecking order. Man, we out of that, man. We out of that. And the last one they probably take is the Steph Curry's. I'm just saying, like, the coaches in recruiting are the same way. Man, we want the best player we can get. We all first of all, the head coach got to sign off on it. The head coach sign off is a done deal. But just because the head coach sign off don't mean y'all can get him. Recruiting is not about wantability. Recruiting is about getability. It's not who you want, it's who you can get. Just because you want to do don't mean you can get him. You still in a race with other schools. So think about the cat and mouse. You got your list, he got his list. The kid got his list. They got their list like you got your list. So it don't mean that marriage is gonna always work at the same time. I mean, it's the game.
And sometimes it just happens organically. Because I was telling Jimmy in the audience earlier how Cornell wasn't calling Robert as much, right? But then Colin Harmon at Columbia was calling him every damn day. So guess
Yeah.
what? I
They
told
got
him
some
and mom,
steam.
I said, him and mom, y'all get on the plane and go up there. Y'all go up, y'all about to play Cornell. Y'all get up a plane and go up there when y'all playing. Man, Marlon Seals got off the bench when the game was about to go on. So I'm saying, damn, and the game is going on. He said, man, don't do nothing. I see them behind the bench. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. I said, well,
All day
dude, y'all
long.
ain't called to do, man.
Dude, let me tell you something. I can tell you from personal experience. This is how I know how cold a game is, right? From back in the day, Chris Walker getting recruited. My last schools, right, were USC with George Raveling, right? I don't know if y'all remember Clem Haskins was the head coach at Minnesota because I wanted to play for a black coach. Georgetown was my other choice, all right? And I had two other schools. Rice was an outlier because my brother was sick and I wanted to stay at home, okay?
Right.
That was an outlier. So I visited Rice. And by the way, they picked me up in Lyndon B. Johnson's limousine. Whatever, I don't want to get started on that. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
I got a Hall of Famer on the show with me. I got a LBJ limo driver. Shit, I got it going on. Keep going.
The limo came to Jimmy. The limo came to South Hall. But listen, though, what I'm saying is, so my other two schools were Villanova and Notre Dame. Actually, I take that back. Villanova wasn't even in the picture then. It was Notre Dame. And you know why Notre Dame was in the picture? Because I love David Rivers. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes. Yes. He beat the hand the ball like you did. He beat that he ball beater like you.
That little afro.
Yeah.
My favorite players was Ross Strickland, David Rivers, and Pearl Washington back then. Right? I wanted to go to Notre Dame and play for Digger Phelps. But guess who they were recruiting? This is a true story. They were recruiting two dudes from the state of Texas at the point guard position, Elmer Bennett and Chris Walker. I had my visit set up to go to Notre Dame, but who visited the weekend before me?
He did.
Elmer Bennett.
And he
guess
committed.
What they called and told him? And committed. And that's what they said. Sorry, sir, no scholarship available. I'm telling you, that's how it happened.
So you was gonna be able to play in Austin Cars Arena?
Listen, the whole time I thought I was good money. I didn't understand the game. I'm like, okay, he gonna go visit, I'm gonna go visit next. No, that's not how it works.
Wow.
They
Boy, that's good.
Pressure on him. Hey, you don't come here, Chris Walker coming the next week. I know he want to come. Kids say, I'm coming. It's a done deal. That's how it happens in recruiting, man. You know, it's real. The kids and the parents don't ever know what's really going on. I'm not saying you can't trust people because I don't want dudes like Scott Drew, you know, them dudes like that get on here, chop me up and say, Brooks III, be like, come on, man. But I'm telling you right now, listen, when you go get that car lot, that used car lot, you're probably getting used. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh my God, that was a good one. I love that story.
John Urie's on the line right now. I saw something on Instagram. Tell me that wasn't John Urie. Did you put it on? Did you put it on?
Yeah, I put it on the show.
Oh my! What was Urie doing? What happened?
I don't know.
And Jimmy, why did he call out my man with the EYBL team? Why he
Mo can't leave. He explained to him. He said can't nobody beat him down in this area, so he wants the bat. He wants them.
Hold on, where were they? Where were they?
I don't know where they was at.
Say wherever they was at, Chris. That should be the event that should give him all the exposure that he want. That wherever he was, that should be the place that you should expect. Because unless you were obligated to be somewhere, let me get that disclaimer in there. Unless you were a team that played in the live period and you were obligated to be there, then wherever you went, you chose to take your resources. Then you should expect them to be on the front line of every piece of exposure that you asked for. Because that's what you paid for. You invested in that.
And Chris, this guy just put this up there, right? And I want to explain to him. I really want to explain to him. He said, kids and parents don't understand. I didn't know the recruiting process, it worked like that. I wasn't a coach. I was a player, then my son. All I knew that I had somebody that somebody wanted. I made sure he was good enough to play GQ. And that's why I keep wanting to get y'all. Keep talking about the PA. Let me tell you something. If you're good enough, you ain't got to understand the damn recruiting process. Somebody gonna get you. And that's what I keep telling parents. Chris Walker, I put it on here the other day. I'm going to put it on here again today. Just in case the people didn't see it, I'm going to put it right back on there and let it scroll across there again. You say,
Oh, yeah.
stop complaining and compete. You tell you that. You tell your daddy that. You tell your son that. You tell your grandma that. Stop complaining and compete. But Chris,
Hey, and they all got to do it. Ask Jimmy when they start coming at his events. He may complain a little bit to us, and what he do? He figure it out and put something in place. That's what he do.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, okay. Oh, they gonna do that? All right. Okay, I'm gonna do this."
He said, what if Cornell bus?
Life's about competition. It's the cornerstone of capitalism.
If the Cornell bus was full, guess what? We had other options. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I knew where I wanted him to go. You got to have options. He was good enough, GQ. He had options. And if only way you can have options, you got to be good enough. When you got that, what people don't. I guess you don't understand. You got to be somebody else got to want you now. Now hold up. If his ass was terrible, this wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered.
We got a bunch of comments lined up for Chris and for Hatter.
But by the way, Jimmy, by the way, when he came out, I didn't even know Jimmy did. He was the 10th. Jimmy had him ranked the 10th best player in the city. So guess what? We're going to know. Because people wonder why the dude ranked this high and on the EYBL going to why he want to go to Ivy League school. Because that's what we wanted to do. You got to be good enough, man. And I keep wanting to, oh yeah, and your grades got to be good. We ain't gonna even go there. Don't even try them schools if you ask grades. Because the first thing I promise you, the first thing they ask, hey man, before I even talk to you, could you release your transcript so I can? Parents, I'm just telling you. I know.
Yeah, but you did something. I mean, I'll let jump with you. You did something that's unordinary because kids just won't do that. I mean, they have to have parents that have been talking. Like a 10th player in Houston ain't going to Cornell.
Absolutely.
He's gonna do other stuff. So that was y'all plan, and it worked out. Y'all sort that out. And Cornell don't get the 10th player out of Houston unless that's something that's intentional about the people. No. Period. That never happens.
They never.
Ever.
They never get them.
Yeah, so they should be happy about that. What were you about to say, Jimmy, about questions?
Well, there's a bunch of them, Hatter, and queued up, and I like the Boomer Room. Keep the comments coming. And I think from one of the
some of them ain't popping up on the thing where I can post them, Jimmy. They're not popping up on the thing. So
really?
If you see them.
Okay, well, I go through a couple of them. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
We go back to Fort being ballers. You said something earlier. Want to spread the wealth for a lot of you guys and taking the time out to comment. And he says, I think the parents should stop trying to place he or she at a D1 school. They have packages that the other schools put together for your children if your child has done well academically. They meaning non-Division I schools. And people are trying to place, that's what it's like. Good comment, good angle for it being bottoms. And at some point in time, and this is and I'm gonna make a note that we got another topic, and that is truth be told, and most of you guys know this, but the vast majority of everybody out there, 90% of the players that are suiting up on the 17 and under circuit, the vast majority are non-Division I prospects.
Yeah, and I would say 95 to 96 or 97
percent.
Yeah, but you got to so think about it this way. If there's 350 Division I schools, safe math, Jimmy, they usually have an average of 3 scholarships. How many scholarships is that? Right? Maybe a little bit 1,050.
That's about 1,050, something like that.
Okay, well, how many seniors are playing? They got 14,000 seniors just in Houston alone. I mean, in Texas alone. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's damn near impossible. That's what people don't realize. And then if you play at the highest level, the power
Chris,
six
we
or power
do that, Chris, because I know it's about 2 parents miss what you just said. About how many players, seniors in Houston? I mean, in Texas,
14,000. I mean, in Texas, that's like 14,000 varsity players. So my thing is just varsity. That's just to say and we got one of the largest states, but you just said only 1,000. And then if you start talking about the best leagues, the top leagues, right? If that's about 80 schools times 3, that's only 240. When they say I want to play in the Big Ten or the ACC, I'm like, homeboy, that means you got to be one of the best two, and that's by position. You don't know what position they need. It's very, very, very hard. When a kid gets to that level, he is a hell of a player, based on the number and commensurate with the number of kids that are trying to play. But I will say, let me make a comment and back about the Fort Bend baller thing.
Come on.
You got to stop saying. And again, I'm not dissing anybody. You don't place your kid at Division I schools. They can get your kid. Ain't no placing. There's no placing. You can have whatever strategy you want. Now, there are hundreds of millions of dollars that are doled out in athletic aid, and there's billions that are doled out in academic aid. Here's the key, though. The key is that what happens is a lot of these people are going Division I or bust from day one, when they should be thinking academic or bust from day one, because your grades follow you from the 9th grade on. They don't start thinking about the academic until all of a sudden they're in the 11th grade and it's too late. Then that's the old school route. Jimmy, remember how we used to have to go back and get the fake prep schools and go back and undo all the stuff they did? Jimmy did it, and I done it too. We probably should be locked up, but we didn't help more than we didn't hurt. Okay, just telling you right now. We did help more than we did hurt.
Right.
Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand how the deck is stacked against kids from certain demographics, and the deck is stacked against them because of ignorance.
You just said how many billions go to academic?
There are billions of dollars in academic aid that are given out every year that we don't know nothing about.
Okay.
There's kids getting scholarships to go to school for free to be smart, just like kids are getting basketball scholarships.
Okay.
That's the truth.
And how much
So
money?
which one you think?
How much money in sports? Basketball? How much?
Just hundreds of millions. It's not even close.
It's not even close. Okay.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Okay.
So my thing is, you actually smart. Think about it this way too, and I'll let Jimmy jump back in. There's less than 5% of the people that are people of color that are doctors in America, right? 350 million people, less than 5% that are people of color are doctors. So that means another 95% everything else. So and we represent 11% of the country. So when we want to go to the doctor, 9 times out of 10,
ain't gonna look like us.
Somebody that look like us.
Absolutely. Wow.
So imagine if we were intentional, instead of saying, I want to go to the league, we're going to build a bunch of doctors. So when we all go to the doctor, there can be a level of comfort when we go. That's why we're not taking the vaccine. We don't go to the doctor, and when we go somebody we don't trust. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. That's part of it. So now when you look at the academic piece, you got kids out there that think they got a better chance of going to Stanford to play basketball than going to Stanford on an academic scholarship, or going to Texas and playing football, or going to Texas on an athletic scholarship. Jimmy, I'm not mistaken, the state of Texas, the top 10% can get into any school in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
If you're in the top 10%.
Yeah.
That means if you go to Wheatley and you're the top 10%, that means if you go to Memorial, y'all got the same chance. And the people at Memorial don't like that.
Yeah, so I think they fought against that in like the last year or so to reverse that. I think some schools, in Texas, they may have reversed that back to where they used to be back in the old days. It's one of you guys in the booming room may be able to go and check on that. But Chris, we have some good comments, man, from some of the viewers. Shout out to all you guys out there that's joining in to the Chop Shop. We're gonna ask you to share the show right now. This is a great convo that's taking place. And if you share the show to your timelines, to a couple of your groups, everybody has sports oriented groups that Mike can use. Is the public ones, not the private ones. There's a reason that the private groups are private. If you have a public group that you're a member of, share the show, tap in the groups, put this in. If you're on Facebook, if you're on the YouTube, watching us in the Boom Boom Room, like Archie Young and the rest of those guys, Daryl Barnes, then give us a thumbs up and also share it to your social media platforms. And of course, Kelly says, my son qualified. And that's a great thing. That's a great feeling. That's just the beginning. That's just a portion of the equation. Now, how about this? Just piggybacking on what Chris just said, Jameson Morrow says, why are we telling our kids to hustle and dive on the floors? How about telling them to get in the library and read more books? What does the numbers reflect? An NBA player or a career in business?
Man, listen, guys. I had dinner with my uncle. I encourage everybody, if you ever come to New York, Jimmy, I'm supposed to wear some Astros stuff, by the way. Y'all, the Yankees swept y'all
Yeah.
got swept the other day.
Yeah, I
We'll
was
talk
getting on
about
that
that.
later on. I got no.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed that my cousin was giving me a hard time. My grandma was giving me a hard time. They're like, you got to wear some Astros gear. I said, you don't understand. I won. I'm from Houston. But at the end of the day,
And Chris, they ain't
yeah,
lost
stuff.
since you opened your mouth. You should have just shut up.
No, trust me, that's Jimmy Hicks. He ain't forgot about that. Are you
No,
crazy?
I'm talking about the Astros haven't lost since you made that request. Just leave it alone.
But that wasn't our bet though. Our bet
I
was
know, but I'm just telling you, they on the run, and I had to say something nice to Mindy.
They catching up with the Yankees for the best record. But anyway,
Dude, I had to say something nice to
Four
Mindy today.
games.
Uh,
4 games back.
Hey,
I mean, listen,
Chris,
they both doing well.
Chris, you ain't hear me. I had to be nice to Mindy today.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man. Come on.
Bad.
Yeah.
What were we talking about, Jimmy?
Well, we had a couple more comments, and I'll share some.
About Jameson. What Jameson said about and I'm telling you, man, I was like I said, if you ever come to New York, make sure you go to the Michael Jackson show on Broadway. I had my uncle come to town.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, my uncle from Memphis, a preacher from Memphis, and we were with his wife, and we were talking about, issues and stuff in the community. And you know what's funny, man? Like, I've noticed this. We're all about around the same age.
Right.
But people that are older than us, like my uncles, they see the world through a different lens. How do we talk about lenses?
Yes.
And we're not that far removed in age.
Yes.
And then think about the way your kids see the world.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the issue, though. The same stuff keep on happening. How you mentioned the other day, you mentioned last night, Eyes on the Prize is unbelievable, that show. Let me tell you something.
Talking about the documentary?
Oh, my God, man.
Jimmy, they got it on HBO Max. They got about 7 or 8.
Talking about the old one that's in black and white?
Yeah, it's some black and white.
But they bringing it back. Yeah, it's old black and white, but they done chopped it up. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
And I'm going to tell you why it's a must-see. Because what it showed you was when people were in trouble, they showed you how our economic power forced them people to come to the table and act right. It showed them when we got together and did certain things, but it also showed us whatever they denied us, when we band together and we tried to change it. For instance, Jameson talked about, sliding on the floor and education and stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, the way that system is set up, it made you think the only thing you could do was slide on the floor. That's the only way. You can't make it no other way. I want to be a banker. No, you're not. I want to be a teacher. No, you can't do that. I want to be a boxer. You can do that. Oh, for real? I can do that? Yeah. I want to be in tech. Nah, man, ain't no angle for you in tech. You can go work in the factory. You can go clean up the house, the horse manure. I mean, they only made you feel like you could be a service person. So sports and entertainment made you feel like the only way you could stick your chest out and feel like you could be proud, and it was something that they respected and we respected, a la Jackie Robinson. Even though Jackie Robinson got a degree from UCLA, but most people don't know that. All they know is he broke the color line.
And his wife had a nursing degree.
People don't know that. So that's in our DNA I don't want to say not like school, but at the end of the day, to feel like the only way, they had that lottery mindset of, he got to make it to the league. He got to make it to the league to save our family. Come on, man. And that's what's going on, Jameson. That's how they make us feel. So the only way to change that is have a parent, because it comes back to your parents, and having, I want to say 2-parent household, I don't want to be that way, but having an infrastructure in place, because the only reason, I'm telling you right now, that Robert Haddard Jr. went to Cornell is because of Robert Haddard Sr.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it straight. I'm going to say it again.
Absolutely.
Only reason that kid went to Cornell is because of his daddy.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you.
Absolutely.
In the discussion. So there you go.
Yeah.
Chris, we have a question for you from Brian Simmons over in Louisiana, and he asked, go back to when you was explaining the pecking order and how sometimes assistant coaches on staffs find themselves battling to win the favor of the head coach for one of their respective recruits.
Absolutely.
And I want you to elaborate on how that goes. But here's the question. He says, he said, can you explain what's meant during a game when one assistant tells the other, that's your guy? They watch your kids sometimes. That's your guy. That you're your guy. after
Yeah.
a subpar performance or whatnot, when the kid is
Yeah.
wet in the bed and the boss is right there. It's kind of like dry snitching. What tell us about
I
that.
mean, dude, they're recruiting, man. It's you're on the same team, but at the end of the day, you got to realize being an assistant coach is a mobile profession, right? You are moving around until you find the best job making the most money, or the job that gives you the most status, or the job that can get you a chance to elevate you to being a head coach. So most times, depending on what schools they are, them dudes is just there for a little while, right? Until they can move on to the next thing. They're trying to angle themselves to get a job. Well, one of the ways, particularly if you're an African American assistant, right, to angle yourself or to be thought of as a very, very good assistant is recruiting. So you want to make sure that, and usually, and it's what it is. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but usually coaches of the other hue hire a black assistant coach to go get the black players. It is what it is, man. Let's just call it what it is, right? They send the canary in the coal mine, bro. That's what the black assistant coaches are. And so I was one of those guys. I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no misnomer in my mind. I mean, I'm not saying that I didn't want to be respected as for my basketball mind or my basketball acumen and could I do X and O's. But at the end of the day, right, if you don't have no players, you're not in business, period. It's a player's game, So my thing is when you sitting there and you like, man, because what I'm going to tell you another thing that happens, right? You haven't gotten a player, bro, on the staff. And then you see that dude going, for a dude that probably ain't that good, not that good, fighting tooth and nail to get that dude a scholarship. Just so he can say he got a player. Like, it's all that internal stuff going on that the parents are not aware of. You know what I mean? And that's why the transfer portal is going to be running wild. And you saw the new rule now, where they may come out where they can transfer anytime they want every year without penalty. Y'all don't understand what's about to happen. I know it had to be like, oh, these sound long. Had it with NIL in place. And giving them dudes the ability to transfer whenever they want, every year. Do you understand? If every kid was smart, they put his name in the portal. Every kid should put their name in the portal. Because guess what? You're worth more when people think you can bring something to them as opposed to you already having them. Think about women. I'm not going to say women. They say my husband take me for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he got you already. But he see the other woman over there. He don't know all the bad stuff about her. Be like, oh, she good looking. And she probably could get more than the one you got laying next to you. Just because of what he thinks she is. So what happens in that poll, they're going to start putting their name in the poll. To see what? To see the value. So they're going to start. It's going to be so chaotic. So you better love the one you with. That's what's about to really start happening. Is that college coaches are going to have to start loving the dudes that are actually with them. Let me put my plug in.
Yeah, you always do. I don't know why you always get on here without the plug.
As I said,
got to look.
no, I thought I had it. I thought I had it done.
Just got that
So you saying you got to do the island brother, to love the one you with?
Dude, I'm telling you, these dudes today, college coaches, I used to always be my rule. I said, listen, man, we can go out and do all the recruiting you want. But you know what? Them dudes in high school ain't playing for us this year. We got to love the ones we with right now. Them dudes right now, we got to love these dudes. We can be on that road all we want. But the guys that are here with us right now, the ones that's actually going to be out there playing for us. So we got to balance that out. Recruiting is important, right? But player retention is even more important.
Especially now.
We need to make, man, come on.
Right.
Because that same kid you're recruiting is going to be playing for you one day too. What's your process on that? Chasing. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, I know I'm jumping around a little bit about the coaching thing. Right. It's probably disconcerting to people to hear coaches having in-house rivalry over what players should they take and not just say we should take the best guy. It's usually not like that. Because those guys are recruited, I want to say mercenaries, they're recruited to come in and get players. And that don't mean they best friends. That don't mean they relatives. They can be at Arizona State one day and Georgia the next day. Them dudes, like me, I went to Villanova, so I feel differently about recruiting. But if I was at UMass, I mean, I would just work here. I don't have no other emotion tied to UMass. I can be gone the next day to New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So kids and parents get caught up into that. You know, it's a job for me. It's a dream for you. It's a job for me, a dream for you. You know,
Mm.
so I look at
Wow.
it very differently.
Now we have another question for you, Chris. Michael Garcia asked, "Do assistant coaches get bonuses if they hit on good recruits?"
Yes, it depends on the school. It depends if they're a contract, and it depends on who the head coach is. And that's why stuff like them rankings is corny, because if 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 they say you get a player of the top 100, let me kind of tell you the kind of stuff that's going on. Well, hey man, I get a $10,000 bonus for every top 100 player I get. And let's say a kid is like number 110. You know what coaches will do? They'll call up a guy like 247 Jeremiah. They'll call up Paul Vigard. Hey man, listen, I need you to put this dude. I don't care what you do with him after the fall. I need you to put this dude at number 99. I'm just trying to tell you the kind of stuff that, and parents think, and you know what the parents think? He's top 100 in the country. And they don't even realize that people are making deals because of some financial gain on their side. Or they know if they get so many players in the top 100, they're going to say he's one of the top 25 most recognized assistants in the country, which means absolutely nothing. But guess what? You got to be on the right side of politics. Some of those guys get shined because you got to realize every assistant coach is trying to be what? A head coach. He needs some stripes on the wall. He needs some validation that he's good. So people get caught up into that. 68. People get caught up into that, man. They get caught up into that. And that's just what it is, bro. They get caught up in all the politics. And Bahati, you made a great point. If you good, you don't even know what politics look like, bro. Like when you're a good player, you know politics don't ever affect you. Politics don't affect LeBron. Politics don't affect Chet Holmgren. Politics don't affect Apollo Bencaro. Politics don't affect those guys. But when you're in the margins, things can go either way sometimes when you ain't that dude. And most people are not that dude. They're just not. I mean, I know kids right now, I don't want to say their name, that are high level dudes. And I'd be like, yo, man, what's your NIL look like? Man, I ain't getting no NIL. I'd be like, you know what's funny? Everybody think you getting NIL money, and you ain't getting a quarter. And y'all highly ranked in the country. What gives? Why not? It's not happening everywhere. High level dudes ranked at high level schools is not getting a quarter NIL. Now, how does that make sense? But if you ask the general public, they think everybody getting a check. Everybody not getting a check. Everybody not getting a check. And if you make it just about the check, which is fine, if that's what you want to do, right? A lot of kids are doing that. Now, it's back to Jameson Morrow's subject. Who cares about the X's? Who cares? They care more about the X's and O's than they care about the books and learning. So we made it more about that. I'm down with entrepreneurship. I'm down with making money. But at the end of the day, when you're done with college, what's your NIL gonna look like then? NIL don't follow you outside of college, by the way, just so you know how to. I know you know that, right? NIL as long as you're in college. As soon as you leave college, there's no more NIL. Right, Jim? There's no more NIL.
Okay.
That's the real talk.
Interesting.
There's no more NIL.
Coach, that's right. It's the national letter of intent. I mean, no,
it's
I mean, a
name,
name,
image, and
image, and likeness while you on a college campus.
Because let's keep it a buck. If they didn't, I mean, very few kids, Mikey Williams and all those guys can do it because they started a little earlier. But very few of those guys, right, are dudes before they get to that college. So I say, I don't know what Alfio saying. I'm not telling the truth about. But if a dude's a football player at the University of Texas, right?
Okay.
His name, because he plays at Texas,
Yeah.
is probably why people know who he is.
Absolutely.
But high school's a little bit different because if you're a high-level dude, they know who you are. But that doesn't mean they're going to give you a check for it. If you go to Texas, you're more likely to get a check. You could be a high-major high school player, right? But you probably getting a check because you go to Ohio State. And Ohio State is making it part of the collective. Or you go to Miami because you play football for Miami is why you're getting a check. I'm just saying, like, people got to understand that. It's not just based on, oh, I'm that dude. Oh, okay, for real? Let's see the top 5 dudes in the city of Houston, see what their NIL look like at the end of the year. I give them the whole year. I let them do whoever they want to be and see what their NIL look like. And then let them sign with Duke and watch what that NIL look like. And let them sign with Kentucky and watch what that NIL look like. You understand what I'm saying? It's still tied to the school. That's why I don't like the name, image, and likeness thing. I think they should be revenue sharing with these universities. TV deals like the NBA does. I think that's what should be happening. I think they should be getting more, to be quite honest with you. That's what I believe.
Yeah, but the name, but if that were to happen, Chris, then it would come out of the pockets of the actual schools, from
Okay.
the budgets, from the actual programs,
Yeah, that's what
which are
Chris
which.
want. Chris want
That's what
that
I'm
money.
saying.
That's what he's
So
talking about.
No, no, no,
so
no. Ain't no problem with that. But then if that now, that's a whole different ant bed in the yard, because
why?
that
But
comes out of the budget.
no,
Name and his likeness doesn't affect the budget
J-
of the
That's
school.
not
Jimmy,
true.
Jimmy,
That's not true, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
That's not
When,
true.
when Cap, hey,
How
Jimmy,
so?
that Supreme Court decision, Jimmy, it left some gray areas for the future athletes to challenge the money that they making overall and get some of that too. That
Absolutely.
Supreme, see, we just read. You got to read the fine print, because after that, Jimmy, they always have opinions. The Supreme Court, and in Brett Kavanaugh's opinion, he was talking about how they're going to open up. They're going to look at this thing again. So if some kid come and sue, some like that, the Ed O'Bannon did, and enough of them come and sue, Jimmy, hey, NCAA gonna have to in the next 5 or 6 years.
Oh,
It's gonna be some of that going on.
NCAA won't exist probably.
They got to give up some of that bread, Doc.
But Jimmy, this is just like them NBA owners had to give up some of that stuff. That's what's happening.
Oh,
Man.
yes,
That's
sir.
why they want
Oh, yes,
the
sir.
CBA. Do they report their real numbers and stuff? Because they get a piece of that. Them royalties of they had a before. How about this? Before Jerry Jones, I don't even want to get into that. So you saying it doesn't affect them, the schools? So those collectives, what do you think those collectives are? This is how powerful those collectives are. Guess where that money used to go? To the booster club. It used to go to the booster club. Them dudes making all that money, that was going to the university. That was going to the athletic fund. Now it ain't going there no more. It's going to the kids.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
are being affected.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are
What
being
I'm saying, but not as far as your budget on the books, it doesn't affect your budget.
Oh, you
on the
talking
book.
about? Oh, you
That's
talking
the
about
state. You talking about
revenue? You talking about
Yes. It
outside
doesn't affect-
revenue?
It doesn't
I got
come
you.
out. Whatever you earning as a school, it doesn't come out of your pocket. That ain't no. This coming from a different pocket.
But Jimmy,
That might be
think
your
about
back
this.
pocket.
But Jimmy, think about this. Most schools don't make money. See, they don't make money.
That's a good point.
But
Most of them
the
don't make
ones
money.
but the vast majority of the ones who are getting name, image, likeness deals are the vast majority are the ones that's making money.
Okay, but define making money, because what I can tell you is, and I don't even want to go into Title IX and how women's sports make zero money. There's only 2 sports that make money: football and men's basketball. The rest of them don't make a dime. Don't make a quarter.
Hey, I didn't know this. I don't know how true it is.
What's that?
I didn't know how true this is. Alfio, I can't believe it, but
No,
boy,
Alfio.
Alfio,
Look at the names you just mentioned.
is it only them guys? Are you getting
Look at the name you just
$25,000?
mentioned.
Alfio, are you? Yeah, are you getting that kind of money
Let's go
too?
find some other guys. You just mentioned 3 of the best players of all time. Period.
And they shouldn't even need it.
3
Hold up.
Heisman Trophy winners.
Them
Come on,
guys
man.
shouldn't even need it, but Earl Campbell should. But the other guys shouldn't need it.
Man, this ain't, and listen, don't even acknowledge that this is not a University of Texas what they call it, presser where we
Information.
talk about Texas.
Okay.
Informational. Alfio, man,
Yeah,
kill it with us.
Alfio, you messing me
If
up.
we can find 100 dudes at the University of Texas and be like, man, screw Texas. But I don't even want to go there, Alfio, because they do take care of those guys. And I don't want TJ Ford to be on there because he'd be the first one going like, I love UT. So we leave that alone. We're not going there.
All right, I like that.
Alfio.
I like that.
We're not going. It's not a commercial, an infomercial for the University of Texas.
I
Oh, look
respect
at
you.
Alfio. I left the state. You I left the state because you had Bob Wetlick as a head coach. Anyway, keep going. Ask him when the University of Texas is going back to the Final Four. Anyway, but keep going. I'm not going to chop up my boy Chris Beard. That's my man. He's the one who can do it, though. Are they good in football?
Boy,
Anyway.
You are messy, Marvin.
I was on the phone with Branch the other day. I said, Branch,
What's that?
for all the money that the University of Texas have, what do they win in besides baseball and golf?
What do you mean?
Do they win in any sports?
No, Jimmy, they ain't winning. They ain't winning.
Do they win in football and basketball?
Jimmy, they ain't winning.
They win it. They win it. You mean they win in softball? They win in track and field.
Oh my God! Again.
Oh, in the non-revenue generating sports.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because the golf team off the chain.
Not that they need the revenue, but I mean, Alfio. I mean, come on, man.
The golf team off the chain.
If you talk to any University of Texas alum, and say, man, how could Baylor be winning more, or Texas Tech be
Oh,
winning more?
wow. They mad about that now.
Come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. How could U of H could be winning more in basketball than us? Come on, bro.
Hey,
All
Mindy
those
said, are
resources
you
they
from
got.
Houston? Mindy,
Huh?
what are you doing?
Listen, at what did we say? Stephen A. say, we don't get paid to talk to, then we get paid to what?
Talk about.
We just talking about, hey, man, what's going on? You see, Alfio ain't said nothing. You see how that 3 right there is real? Yeah, there you go. There you go. There we go.
Hey, Corey Henderson said A&M is winning the track.
A&M is winning in arrest.
They got all that money.
They are winning in arrest. They are winning in arrest.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Come on, Jimmy. That's not fair.
Wrong.
That's a
Hey,
fact.
you know what's funny? I listen to y'all talk about recruiting. It's unfortunate that parents. Here's the one thing that people don't understand, and Jimmy, you may be able to elaborate on this. This is a business. Y'all got to stop acting like this some playground stuff. These dudes get paid real money. They got real money floating around the NIL. You got coaches making 10, 12 million. Kirby Smart just got 12 million a year. This is not a game. It's not a game. This is real. So yes, there's deception. Yes, there's lies. Yes, there's pump fakes. Yes, there's 3-card Molly. Yes. What you better learn how to do is start doing it too on your side, because that's what they're doing on this side.
You're amazing, Chris.
It's business, man. Hey, the corporate people call it corporate America. This is corporate athletics.
Hey, Chris.
Corporate athletics.
Can I interject here a little bit? I mean, we talk about college basketball, right? We talk about college. But SWAC had their media day the other day, Jim.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Charles McClellan. You saw that, right?
Yes.
We talked about it last week.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah,
But they had their media day. They had their media day last week. And some interesting things come out of it. Where all my Grambling people at? I need to talk to y'all. Front and center. Call your Grambling friends and because I'm going to play a couple of videos here. But, I mean, it's just some stuff. You know, Deion Sanders, he was the only interesting person that I saw. But first of all, what do you think about this, Jimmy? Jimmy, I never seen a coach do this. Watch this. This was before media day. Watch this.
I mean, we call a couple to come in, but we do.
Let's do this right here. All barbers in Jackson and surrounding areas. I need you. Our kids have headshots tomorrow. That means they're going to take a picture of their handsome faces in, what is it, a polo shirt? But we need the neck up straight, and that's on you. All right, we can't do nothing with the face, but you can do something with the rest of it. I need all barbers to call. Who they going to call? Who they call? Coach O. They can't just call Coach O. What they going to do? We don't want to give him your number. Yeah, but they call it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. Your wife gonna be sitting there. Why? Who is that calling you with it? Head coach _O. Put it on the screen, Nearly. We need you tomorrow to cut our guys up. God bless you, and I appreciate you.
I mean, I like that was so genuine. He told the coach, though, Jim, like people be giving their number out on this show. Man, don't you be giving your number out on this show. But they were at SWAC Media Day, and I wanted to show y'all that what he was saying. He was saying some interesting stuff. Watch this.
Your expectations, what do you think people are going to see out of Travis Hunter this year?
Woo. Let me tell you something, man. Travis got it. I rarely say that, especially about somebody who plays my position. Travis got it. He got it as an athlete. He has it as a person. Travis is a great young man and a great athlete. Usually that great athlete may be an idiot. That great athlete don't want to study, don't want to prepare. That great athlete don't want to work. Don't want to hit the weights, don't want to be in condition. This kid has it. His mother has done a phenomenal job with raising a man that wants it all. Not some of it. I mean, when a guy calls me over, when I'm usually positioned behind the second defense or behind the quarterback to watch the plays develop to his side of the field so I can watch him work, so I can get on his butt. That's what he wants. He wants it.
Do you see a lot of yourself in Travis?
Travis is so far ahead of me when I was his age is ridiculous. I wasn't that at his age. I know this is gonna go viral, and it should. I was not that. That's a grown man right there at that age. I faster, yeah, foot speed, yeah, but all that offense and defense. Not only that, but with someone to a navigational system that been there and done that know the destination. Not only that, someone that's willing to allow him to exploit every darn asset and ability that he has. He has that in me as a coach. I ain't have all that. And I see what he has as a young man. So it's my job to navigate him through this path called life and make sure he reaches the pinnacle. That kid has it, and everybody's gonna have the opportunity to see it.
It's going to be on display.
It was unique. I just wanted to share that with people because I don't hear too many coaches saying that about a player. And that's Travis. That's the guy who shunned everybody else to go to that school, and he plays Deion's position. Chris, what do you think about that? I mean, and I'll play the Gremlin stuff tomorrow because I know we pressed for time. But Chris, I want you to just look. What's about the impact that Deion is having, and how genuine he was about talking about one of his star players.
I mean, I think he was definitely genuine. Who is anyone to question whether Deion knows what it takes to play that position? Number one. I mean, he did mention some things like, he's further along than me, but in football, how do you know it's all about foot speed? Like, that's the one thing that separated Deion from everybody else. He was so damn fast.
No.
And now Deion can teach
he
him
was superhuman. The
Yeah,
other
that's what
boy
I'm
is
saying.
just
he glossed over that. I'm like, Deion, but that
no. But Chris, what all he's saying is, I ran a 4.12.
Yeah,
Travis ran a
insane.
4.2. Hold up, Travis ran a 4.2 or 4.3. That's still superhuman, but he just not like me.
Well, Batman is considered a superhero, whatever powers he got, but he ain't Superman. So Deion was Superman. So that's kind of hard to be like,
Yeah.
But again, as Deion says, he's a grown man. And the one
Right
thing
now.
I like that he mentioned, he says, usually you have a good player that don't want to study. He's right.
Yes.
And you know why? Because of people around him. Usually you have a good player who's an idiot. He's right. You know why? Because of his concentric circle. Right? And I guarantee you all those people are telling him, man, don't go to Jackson State.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he's saying, hold on, man. I'm going to go play for one of the best cornerbacks that ever played a game. You telling me people not going to come look at me if I'm playing for him? Of course they are. Of course they are. The question is, again, and Prime is doing it. I'm going to say this, and people are not going to like this. Prime is not going to be at Jackson State for long. The question is, let me finish. How do I see your face? Who is going to take up the mantle? Who's going to take up the mantle and do what he's doing to further it? Because he's going to leave. He's going to be he's going to be in the NFL. He's going to be at Florida State. That's happening because guess what, Hatter? Them kids, them black kids at Florida State need him too. They need him too.
I understand it. I understand it.
So what I'm saying is, who's going to do it when Prime leaves? That's the real question. That's and the other thing is, some of these high level players that have played like Eddie George and the rest of them, the way Prime is taking this thing personal. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, because Steve Nash never coached, and he got a job. I'm not trying to make it a racial thing, but Prime, they told Prime, man, you got to do this and that. Prime got to coach Jackson State. Steve Nash coaching the Brooklyn Nets. I want that to sink in. Both Hall of Famers. Steve Nash is nothing compared to what Deion Sanders was.
But what I see, but keep going. I'm sorry. No, we're good. But what I see him doing is building relationships where the next coach or the coaches in the HBCUs are being able to be access. I mean, they having access to stuff. Athletic, they're gonna have that access now to those people now. And it reminds me of a story, Chris. I was thinking about when Marion Barry passed away. Okay, Marion Barry. A lot of us let the media talk about him, and he got caught in the hotel room with a girl and all that, and try to erase all the great things he did. And at his funeral, I never forget this, y'all. This what I like about Dion, right? At this funeral, I remember Minister Farrakhan talking about when he interviewed some reporters. They were talking about Marion Barry, and they just gonna talk about, well, how can you? Marion Barry was a drug user and a womanizer, and how can you support this womanizing, immoral person? And you, Minister Farrakhan, you know what Minister Farrakhan said? Well, who you talking about? JFK, John F. Kennedy, right? That's who you're talking about, right? Everything you said over, all right. Then the place exploded. But his point was, y'all, we got to make it clear. Power, and I'm just thinking about, and one thing I like about Marion Barry, they said this guy named Don Peoples. Chris, if you over on the East Coast, you're probably seen one of his buildings. One of the biggest developers, black, white real estate developers in the whole country, right? So he was at the same funeral, and he was just talking about how, check this out, Chris. This is what I'm talking about, Dion, parallel to Dion. Marion Barry, as a mayor, he walked in the business room with all the white developers and the accountants and all of them. If ain't no black person in that room, guess what he'd tell them? Ain't no black people in this room. When you get some black people, y'all come back. If we have this meeting again and ain't no black people in the room, I'm not having this meeting. He was intentional. He was so intentional. So guess what that did? Chris, you remember you talked about intentionality, right? That made this young man named Don Peoples, I'm talking about, he was the beneficiary of a young man being able to come into those meetings because of what Marion Barry said. You can't, Dion said, you can't do this. You got to help the rising tide rise all the ships. You got to help every team. And somebody didn't have a good practice field. Hey man, let's go get this guy a practice field. Somebody didn't have this. Let's go get this guy. So we got to be intentional, Chris, about when we in these positions of power, because you ready to push him to the next level. But when we are in these positions of power, we got to bring other people up.
And all I'm saying is, whoever comes, somebody got to take the torch after him, because
yes,
I mean, he's just too good at it, and he's gonna get his chance elsewhere. That's just what it is. If Dion had his druthers, this is probably the best thing that happened for him. But if Dion had his way, he would never be at Jackson State. It was just a place that would give him a chance to be a head coach. But it might have been the best thing for him, though.
But if it wasn't no, but guess what? But if it wasn't no Marion Barry, it might have never been a Don Peoples.
I agree. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't gonna give him a shot. They gave this young man a shot, Jimmy. I want y'all to hear. They gave this young man a shot at 19 years old. Now he's one of the biggest developers, white or black, in the whole wide United States. He got buildings everywhere, Jimmy. And it's just unbelievable because a guy was intentional. And I'm telling us, we got to be intentional about bringing our people in. We've been talking about this, but Dion, let me tell you something. You're absolutely right. For the right situation, Dion is going.
Yeah.
But he's posturing. Go look at the amount of games on ESPN that the SWAC got this year. Record number of the last 2 years because of what he did. So, I mean, that we got to
But that also shows you, and I don't know this, and Jimmy would know this better than me. I don't know who the most famous alum at TSU, like a Michael Strahan giving suits to Dion, and then they finally got him to give him to TSU.
Yeah.
Like if the biggest alums or the richest alums came back and said, you know what, man, we're going to pour ourselves into TSU. The way Dion's pouring himself into the SWAC. He didn't play in the SWAC, but he's pouring himself into that league with his celebrity. Yeah. He understands the value of it.
Yeah.
And gathering money, his friends.
Yes.
What do you know what he's doing? He's being intentional. He's using our resources, probably a little bit of theirs too, but he's saying, these are all my buddies. Hey man, this our people. Yeah, you're right. I played at Florida State. You're right. I played for the Cowboys. But hold on, man. These are our people, man. That could be my son. That could be this. And he made his son go there. He could have let his son go well. His son that's sitting there with him.
Yeah.
So now he put his money where his mouth is. He say, my son can make it for me. He'll be all right. You know, so I mean, it's hard. It's hard for us to like. We can always look at situations, be like, "Yeah, man, you should do this and you should do that." They say, "Well, you gonna do it?" Well, hold on. It's not really for me. I'm just saying what you should do. Dion went there. Dion could have fought going to Jackson State.
Of course.
He could have fought it, Jimmy.
Well,
But guess what Dion did? Now Eddie George at Tennessee State, and my man over who's the guy Graham?
Hugh.
Hugh. That's
Yeah.
That's Deion Sanders,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah.
That's Deion Sanders.
Did y'all see what Hugh had on?
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you see what his
Y'all see what
players
Hugh
had on?
What do you have on?
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Watch this.
Somebody, Graham.
People sleeping on Graham.
All of us sleeping on us very much, and we appreciate that. You know, we just because
Look
when
like
we get to the end, it's at that time to announce who the dogs are and who the ones that supposed to hold that trophy up. Because you know the history itself speaks. Grambling, this is our conference. This don't belong to nobody else. Grambling is we the stone. So and we're gonna reclaim that, and that's what we're gonna be.
That's what they had on.
That look good. I like that.
Don't let Jimmy do it. That's not to get the dancing.
Hey, man, we gotta get ready to land the plane, but I want to
Come on.
in regards, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let's do not, and this is it is what it is.
Okay.
Jackson State, Deion Sanders. This was the perfect scenario.
Yes.
Let me give you a fact first of all. Before Deion got there, Jackson State led every HBCU in the country in attendance.
Absolutely.
So let's get this straight. First of all, it wasn't like he brought them from the dead. He brought them into national reconnaissance, and therefore they became part of the conversation, and they lured players to the program that what normally was going to predominantly white institutions. He got in the way. He became a thorn. But that program averaged over 30,000 fans per game before he got there. Now, also Jackson, Mississippi, there's no NFL team. There's no NBA team. There's no Major League Baseball team. And more importantly, there's no major Division I counterpart on the other side of town or even across the street to compete with for the attention on the local news at night. When the sports come on in Jackson, Mississippi, what they talking about every day? Ain't nothing else to talk about. Memphis Grizzlies. Then you're gonna talk about what? Talk about what?
Well, I mean, are you talking about the black people? Because the white people, if they went to Ole Miss or went to Mississippi State, they're gone for that weekend. So we talk about the African Americans. Most of them didn't go to Ole Miss, and most of them probably didn't go to Mississippi State. So you're right. From our perspective, right, that it's the only show in town. That is true. That's a good point.
It's the perfect storm. Perfect storm. Because that means so the support base, the fan base was already in place. You just put that thing on steroids. And you also helped other programs indirectly because every time Jackson State play on TV, they have to have an opponent.
And Jimmy, if one of his players got drafted, University of Texas didn't have one player get drafted. How about that?
That's crazy. Alfio. That's
Wait a
crazy.
minute. Nobody from UT got drafted?
Nobody from UT got drafted.
Alfio.
He had Johnny Houston, last name Houston, he got drafted.
Wait a minute. University of Alfio, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
You got some
Yeah,
explaining to do.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell Alfio with that University of Texas stuff. I'm like, man, please. Now,
All
one
my-
dude from Texas got drafted. Wait, how many? 7 rounds? How many rounds did it have?
Yes, 7
In the
rounds.
NFL?
Not nary a one.
Come on, man. I can't believe that.
Wow. And of course, thanks, Brandy Nickerson. She says her nephew, her godson, is an incoming freshman at Jackson State. And they are at a record number of incoming freshmen. I don't have the number yet.
I heard that.
And if somebody would get the number for tomorrow and elaborate, but now he has to take online classes, Chris, because all the classrooms are filled up for the freshmen. All those courses.
But
you got to
Jim,
take online.
That's usually what happens to these universities when they go to the Final Four. They don't. Their money goes up like crazy. Enrollment goes up.
Hey, and guess what I found out? I wish I had I don't have the article with me. All of HBCUs the SWAC, all of them have increased enrollment this year for some reason. Everybody got increased enrollment.
I wouldn't even say indirectly. I'm not saying it happened because I saw Charles McClellan, and we should have him go on the Chop Shop because that's a huge honor. He's got it. He's not the first. I don't think he's the first African American, but the SWAC. I remember when
he's
he
the
left.
first HBCU.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first HBCU head of it.
D1
People gotta understand the NCAA tournament is the biggest sports event. I know we talk about the Super Bowl and all that, but you talking about the NCAA tournament is a big, big deal. The Final Four is a big, big deal. And for him to get that honor is absolutely crazy. Now, and I would dare to say it, I may not be right about this, but what Deion is doing and the attention he's bringing to the SWAC, I guarantee that helped. I'm telling you that helped. That helped that helped guys like Charles McClellan on the low to see Deion doing what he's doing. And so people can know that there's dollars being spent. Hey, man, let me tell you something. They sell T-shirts at the Jackson State game, too. They sell hot dogs at the Jackson State game, too. They sell hot dogs at old Wrigley Stadium that the Memphis Tigers play in over there in Memphis. I don't know what I'm talking about. That old Wrigley Stadium, goodness gracious. Hatter, when y'all going to get that stadium fixed, man? Seriously, Hatter. That's your alma mater.
Whoa. The stadium all right. It's just outdated.
Huh? Outdated?
Yeah. It's outdated. It's 100 years old down there.
But it's outdated. That thing is a trash can. That's terrible.
USC got an old ass state. USC still play out there in the Coliseum.
Man, don't.
At least we ain't got no rats.
Don't do that. That stadium.
We ain't got no rats.
That stadium held together by Elmer's glue and they redid
the concrete. They redid some of the concrete.
I was there 2 years ago. They didn't redo nothing. That place is horrible.
Hey,
great pros coming out of there.
Great place to watch. Yeah, people get drafted out of there too. By the way, people get drafted out of there. Jimmy, let's get out of here, man. I'm tired of
man. A great combo today, guys. And if you just tune in late on the Chop Shop, I strongly encourage you to go back and cue up the beginning of this show. And it was some great convo. And a lot of you probably would be able to learn and educate yourselves on a lot of intricacies about the recruiting process. And as Chris Walker took you behind the curtain of a college coaches in the meeting room, in the boiler rooms, as to how they feel. Of course, Corey gave a message.
Corey, we don't do Corey. We don't won 2 of the last 5 national championships in basketball. We don't do football.
No. The question was football. It says football. You don't.
In other words, you ain't got a statement. You ain't got a stadium. You talk about people and y'all ain't got a stadium.
Villanova, first of all, Villanova does have a stadium. They do have football, and the only reason we don't do football because all we're gonna do is lose money at it, like most schools. So they don't want to do football.
B for Villanova. How you do it?
Tell them to come to the Wells Fargo Center. We'll come down there and play them that little thing they call the gym, and we'll see what happens. But I ain't gonna chop up Buzz though. It's all good. They go to the tournament last year. I'm just curious. They go to the tournament.
Oh, they got snubbed, Chris. Now you stop that. That was a legitimate snub.
Who got snubbed?
Legitimate snub.
Hold up.
A&M.
On the main line.
That was a legitimate snub. They ran to the championship of the SEC tournament and got snubbed. That was legitimate.
Villanova is in the area called the main line, right? They say Jesus is on the main line.
Tell him what you want.
They got national championships, baby. I ain't even talking about that stuff they talking about down there. Hey, thank God for Kelvin. You know what? Kelvin Sampson, Scott Drew, they represent the state of Texas.
Yeah,
man.
they are.
It's still football. And Mike and my man at Mark Adams and Chris Beard. He was like, hey man, Texas is hot in basketball, man. I'm gonna give them that.
Yes.
Texas is hot fish grease. No, they got some stuff going on. But them champions, they on the main line. Villanova, PA, Radnor Township. Holla at my boy Kyle Neptune. I'm getting him on the Chop Shop.
Man, we got to talk to Kyle.
Nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let me stop.
Hey, here come now. You know why? We just got to show him this. Just let him know.
Oh my!
Hold on, Jimmy. Let me put you on the screen by yourself. Hold on. Let me put you on the screen by yourself over there.
What is it?
Let's let him know. Let's let him know. Let's let him know that right there.
PBIL? What's that?
Let's let him know.
Hey, Prairie View Interscholastic League.
You know what I like to say? It say remembering the past with pride.
Hush
Boy, that's a hell of a statement. And on tomorrow I'm going to share. Huh? No, this is the state of Texas.
Oh, that's right.
The entire state.
We got some great athletes, man.
On tomorrow, I'm going to take you guys behind the curtain because I'll put it like this. There's 725 people in the building at this induction ceremony on Saturday. 725 people. And people got up to the podium and told stories. And I'll just give you one before we leave. Chris, Hatter, a lot of times when we played ball back in the days at our urban schools, we had showers in there, but and I always wondered, I never got answers. When you got ready to go play, there was a yellow bus waiting on us outside to take you to the game, right? What did you have on when you got on that yellow bus?
Warm up.
You had your warm up on. What do you have on up under that warm up?
Uniform.
You were already dressed and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the persons got up and spoke before integration. You got dressed because in certain schools, you weren't allowed to use their showers.
That's right.
You weren't allowed to go in their restroom.
Right.
You had to go out and do it outside.
Yeah.
So that means so the systematic programming from our kids, people, just imagine somebody that played through that, had the microphone, and they're telling you these stories. And this is how now they couldn't do this. So now you start thinking back, man. So if a player that played during that time, he became a coach, let's say in the 80s, Chris, when you came out. Well, that player has already been programmed. When I coach my kids, how are you gonna get your kids on the bus? What are you gonna do? More than likely, they're gonna be in jogging suit with a uniform.
Yeah.
And when they leave, what did you do when you got through playing the game? Because you knew if you had to hurry up and get your butt out of that area, or something could happen to you.
Right back on and get up out of there.
You hurried up and got out of the gym as quickly as possible, got on the bus. So what happened when you got back to your school? Your kids going back home unbathed, hygiene problem. And that's why our showers in our urban schools have for decades been underutilized. The white kids, when they went and played for most part in those days and up until now, most of them, guess what? What did they have on when they went to the games? What did they wear? Most of those white, most of predominantly white high
polos. They got a polo on with their logo on it.
They didn't wear the uniform. They wore everything: street clothes, school clothes, uniform. They didn't come dressed to play. And you even had your tennis shoes on in many cases. And you're a grown up right now. If you know better, you get some basketball shoes, some with the rubber soles, the old Chuck Taylors or whatever, the old Converse, Dr. J's. You walked on concrete, walked on the bus, walked through dirt, walked through grass, and then walk. Now you study walking and using that. That ain't the same traction. For most people that understand how this stuff go. This stuff, man, it was so deep. Dude, Sandra cried about 3 different times for people talking at that thing. I'm gonna share you guys, and trust me, I got stories. And I said it was just too many to I didn't want to turn into media when I was there being honored. And I wanted to get up and catch them when they come off the stage and get their phone numbers and stuff, but I know how to get in touch with them because I can call the director, Mr. Brown, or his wife, and get some of those people, man. And that way, and I vowed to do this. I'm not, somebody told me at the table, February. No, fuck February. I'm not waiting to know Black History Month to help people and share that stuff with you. Man, these people are our legends, man. Our pioneers, man. And that was my first time, Chris. I know you being from Rosewood. I know you heard the name Carl Godine before.
Come on now, Cashmere Rams.
Dude, hey, Hatter, that name Carl Godine was like legendary status on the north side of Houston, man.
Oh, yeah, God.
My first time ever meeting him in my life.
He was there?
Yeah.
He got honored, man.
Got honored at the same
Man,
time,
I'm talking about, man, and dude, and it's like, and I'm like, man, Carl ready to talk. We gonna get it. I got his cell number, and we gonna, get him on. Man, dude, it's just so much history in that building, man. But I want to leave you guys in this wet your whistle on that. The PVIL was basically before in Texas.
Yeah, I remember that. That's what
Before
Wheatley used to win all their state championships, the PBIL.
before
Back in the day.
UIL,
Yeah.
it was the black schools had to play under the PVI. Their state tournament was at Prairie View. It was called Prairie View High School.
Wow.
That's where the state tournament used to be at for black schools. It was the Negro League of the high schools. That's just what it was. And guess what? What I found out?
Yeah.
When they merged in 1968, when they merged the UIL and the PVIL, I thought it was, I'm doing my studies on it now. Trust me, this is so interesting. It needs to be a movie made on this. I'm gonna get Maurice Mo Elrod on this project. Come to find out, one of the speakers got up and said it wasn't just a merger. It was great, thought at first, but it was ended up being a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
And the UIL did not acknowledge any of the history from the PVIL until recent years. Recent years.
Does that remind you of the Negro League?
And that's what Major League Baseball, up until recent years, that they agreed to acknowledge the records in the record book to be transferred over. Dude, this stuff is real. This is our black history.
You know what's so unique, Chris, when they were talking about Emmett Till's mom was talking, and they was talking about the progress, and the man talking about we need to wait some more. And then did you hear what Thurgood Marshall said?
We've been the
proclamation of the Emancipation Proclamation was 90 years ago. We done waited longer damn enough.
Oh man, let me tell you something. Thurgood Marshall, man.
Bad. Shut your mouth.
Y'all talk that Ben Crump stuff all y'all want, and I know Ben Crump and Johnny Cochran, the tough guys. Thurgood Marshall.
Hey,
Lord,
and hold
that
up.
time,
you can't stop there now, cause Paulie Murray, he had a secret weapon named Paulie Murray, who used to do all this research for him. She's another lawyer. She the one told him what to argue at Brown versus Board of Education. She said you can't argue this way. You got to argue this way. I mean, we've done some great things.
See, when we start talking like that, that's the kind of stuff that get me fired up. When I'm trying to do stuff in the tech world, when I sit in front of people trying to make movies, when I go on TV, I'm like, you know what, man? There was people that were before me that did all this stuff, dude. Stop acting like you trying to move a mountain. You ain't got to bring a shovel. They done it already.
Chris, I keep telling you, your history didn't start in a slave ship.
Yeah.
Your history started over there where you was already enterprising, inventing math. Come on, man. It's just so much. And Jimmy, I'm glad you brought that up. Because boy,
I definitely want to. I make sure I'm on the show that day because I definitely want to. Carl Golding was one of my heroes, man. I didn't even like basketball. Listen, man, you grew up on South Hall. You played at Rosewood Park where everybody played. You know who Carl Golding was.
Say like this, anybody can go and ask any basketball enthusiast around in the greater Houston area. Tell them just to name you their all-time starting five.
Yeah.
There may be various names that may vary. All-time starting five in basketball in this area. There's two names that's going to be on damn near everybody's list. Two of them will be on damn near everybody's list. Number one, if you go position.
I would say three, but keep going.
Rob Williams.
Yep.
Carl Golding and Eddie Owens.
Oh, there you go. Three of them, Eddie Owens.
Now, the other two, you can go and that's a topic now. Do your homework. We can come back and come with that. The other two, I promise you, it's going to be room for debate. But
there's a whole lot of dudes could be the other two. You talking about high school careers?
Your high school careers only.
Michael Young was the number one player in the state of Texas that did play.
Okay, but everybody was number one at some point in time.
I mean, in the state of Texas, we're talking about from Houston, though.
No, we talking about Houston. All-time starting.
Ricky Winslow.
Okay, but so they cancel each other out?
Aaron Fox. I mean, it's hard to It's hard to talk
Okay,
about
so I'm
the new
saying
school
if
guys.
you go
We got
by
to put
position, So if you go by position, Chris, that means you've already canceled out TJ Ford or De'Aaron Fox because you got Rob. Because Rob Williams was the point guard, and Rob Williams canceled.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
if you
no,
go
no,
by
no, no,
position,
no, no. TJ, not Rob Williams. No. That's
I'm
a
just
different
saying
deal.
though, if you're going by position, you've already named 3 guys. That
Yeah.
means other guys who were in the same position, they can't be. You already eliminated them from consideration.
No, you're right. If we're doing it positionless. We just saying the top 5 of all time.
No, because back in those days, positions were relevant. So
Right.
if you got to go by position. That makes it easier. That means
So
now
what
you got to
position
make
do we have then? We got Rob as a
the
PG,
5 conventional historic positions.
and they got the center. So we talking about like a 4-man or.
So now you're talking about basically a 4 and a 5 because you got your first 1, 2, and 3. Carl Godin would be your 2. Eddie Owens is your 3. Rob Williams is your 1. So now you ain't got nothing but 4s and 5s. So what about Dwight Jones? Does Dwight Jones get a spot on there? He was an Olympian. He was the first team All-American. He got drafted in the NBA. But we're not talking about what he was at, but he was in high school. He dominated what he's supposed to have been. He was 6'10" at Wheaton High School. Alden Ford, Rashard Lewis.
Oh no, there was some dudes. I mean, if we start going, if you're talking about only inside, if you're talking about the inside guys,
I'm okay. Long as you don't say that name on there, I'm good.
Oh, no,
long as you don't put that little bubble head doll head up there. Yeah, I'm good.
Clyde Drexler was good in high school like that.
Chris would be down there on the honorable mention list.
Wow.
I'll
tell you something. Hey, listen. You know what they used to say? They say, man, you ain't this. I said, listen, man, at least I'm on the totem pole. Okay, at least I'm on.
Oh yeah, you in the building.
At least I'm on it.
You in the building now.
How many would you say on the totem pole? What range do you really think you in?
1,000.
No, not 1,000.
I'm just kidding. In your reality, what range?
I mean, dude, you got to realize, bro, guys.
No, what range? In
the city of Houston.
No, I'm sorry, Chris. I meant to say too. No, I'm sorry. I meant to say point guards. What range?
Point guard totem pole.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Chris, you on that joint?
No. What range do we think he's in point guards?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
He in the top 100?
No, man, of course.
I gotta think about it. Because all I know is this: that when Big Money came on back in the day, it wasn't another dude from the state of Texas playing. I know that on Big Money. Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Chris, that's after high school. We're not measuring this on after high school. Remember, it's high school.
I was good in high school. That's why it happened that way. What you talking
Somebody
about?
said Chris in the top 25. GQ said Chris in the top 55.
Let's write that down for tomorrow.
Chris, you got a fan around this joint.
Do that topic up tomorrow.
Hold on, I'm
Chris, top 25.
Chris, he just said you're in the top 25. You could be 12. He just said in the top 25.
No. Then you say top 12. Jimmy know how rankings work. You don't say top 25.
Hey, no. The range. Jimmy.
Hey, let the kids play. Let me tell you something. Clyde Drexler is nowhere in this conversation.
He was
He wasn't that good, though, they told me.
Based on high school only, he's nowhere in this conversation.
Not high school.
Damn.
Clyde Drexler in high school, he would not have beaten. He was not better than Jared Vanderbilt in high school.
Wow.
Nah.
But
when you start that in the new school,
I'm going with Walt.
This you gotta understand, guys. This you gotta understand. It matters when you're talking about eras, because when I played, Texas wasn't recruited like that. We paved the way. I'm telling you, the LeBradford Smiths, the Lance Blanks, the Eddie Cumbos, the Elmer Bennett's, the Chris Walkers, they paved the way for these dudes that came after us.
So you a pioneer.
I'm telling you, when you
hey Jimmy,
Monday,
give me the number to them people at the PVW. You got to get you a damn thing.
I don't need nothing from PVIL. All I'm telling you is that all I'm saying is when ESPN came on Monday night in the 90s, you didn't see anybody else from the state of Texas there. That's all I know.
But you know what though? Chris Walker is a valuable candidate for induction in the PVIL because they're on his whole complete body of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's definitely. I'm gonna nominate you, Chris. Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, shit.
I got you.
Well, hey,
Chris,
I don't know
you
anything
gonna
about
come and nominate you, and I'm gonna go strike your ass off the list.
That'll be the first time Chris Walker get in a room with 725 black folk in his life. So I'm gonna definitely get in there. Hey man, we gonna slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba.
Wow.
Wow.
That was low down, Jimbo.
Just so you know,
Hey,
Chris
he gonna be like Clayton Bigsby. Chris gonna get in that room like Clayton Bigsby. He gonna say,
hey,
take it off.
Just so y'all know, Trey Tata Fall 95. All right. Hey, it ain't the first time this dude been with no black folks. And the dude that maybe just became the grand bosslers of Omega Sci-Fi. So chill out for a minute.
I forgot. No, I forgot. You,
hey, Ricky Lewis.
Okay.
Ricky Lewis, I'm gonna get him on the chop shop.
You got you. I got you, baby. I got you.
Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated, baby.
Where did you pledge at? What school you played? They ain't got them at Villanova.
Many of them. I pledged at all of them. That's all right. All right. I'll holler at y'all.
All right, boy. I'm out of here, man.
Shout out to on the way out.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop